Hello, my lovely crows, and welcome to another reading. I'm happy to get another one filmed, and I'm happy to be filming again with such a motivation and vigor. After it really finally lit the fire under my butt. I'm gonna keep the swearing out of the intro at the very least. But I've got many readings on the docket in the near future, so definitely stay tuned for those. And if you've got any suggestions, by all means, leave them in the comments. I will always be taking them. It might take me a while to get to them because I work a full-time job right now, but it'll get done eventually. And if you want a private reading, got that available in the comments. In the description as well. Might put it in the top comment too. We'll see. But this week we are asking Spirit about emotional check-in. Just picking our brains, seeing how we're feeling, our thinking, how we're hanging out. And we've got 5 crystals. Yeah, you speak English. Yeah. We've got 5 crystals today for you to choose from. For 5 different readings. And in these readings, we're going to be just picking from some pre-selected cards that I shuffled beforehand just to save on time. Checking our energy, checking the overall vibes. Then getting some tarot cards to really get in depth on what's going on, how you're feeling, how you're doing. And then rounding out with some advice, some oracle cards from the Spirit. And yeah, that's about it. Make sure to like the video if you enjoy. Pause if you need to check the crystals for Gemini Christ, kitty cat. I'll go check on her in a second, but pause the video if you need, and we're going to be heading right into the reading. Oh, good goodness. Group 1. Here we are again. And lucky you guys get a sneak peek at my new setup, because your reading has just been a bitch and a half to film. I do not know if you guys are just in a tumultuous I'm getting the tower really strongly, but at a time in your life where things are just all sorts of ways, and that might be also implying on you its pressure and giving you a very tumultuous, maybe a lot of mood swings, that kind of energy. But I swear, getting this reading film has been a fight uphill. When I initially was trying to film it, it took several days to even get started because of various interruptions and time constraints. And then I got it filmed, and then the phone that I filmed it on, the file corrupted on it. So now I have to refilm the reading from scratch. So yeah, here we are again. No offense. I love you guys, Group 1. It's just wow, nice to find out after I've gotten everything done, intro and all, I have to come back and film you guys one more time. But if you guys chose this blue kyanite, it's a very cleansing and protective stone. So maybe there are some things that you need to get out of your life that are causing unnecessary chaos and struggle. For sure. This is your group. Ugh. A lot. Very tumultuous energy. Got some shuffled oracle cards for you, and we're going to lay these out and get a general vibe check for first before we get some tarot cards to really get the energy of how you're feeling, how you're doing. So we've got Crow in reverse, communication, transformation, story, and universal law. Gaia in reverse, harmony, abundance, wholeness, forgiveness. Power of attraction. Shock of the new in reverse. Oh, I know what card I didn't get for you. Because I had to refilm this, I was like, did I get all the oracle cards that I had initially? I forgot one deck, and I will get the card as soon as I'm done laying these out. We got joy. Rejoicing in the present. Spider in reverse. Well, it's fine actually, because that card is the long one I have to read out, so once I shuffle it, I'll just read it. If my camera would focus, that would be great. No? Okay. What a wild web we weave, dear child, a delicious mystery untamed. Got waning crescent in reverse, rest. Please, I love you. Please cooperate. Thank you. Worry in reverse. I am learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. Fragmentation. I think those are waning crescents too, huh? And creativity. Please excuse my squeaky, noisy chair. Please, camera, please just cooperate. Alright. I'm actually going to slide y'all to the side because the next card is a very large card. And let's see if I can't find this deck. That was a shorter search than I expected. But, found the deck, Inner Child Oracle. Definitely gotta get one of these for everyone. Already off the bat, I'm noticing that Gaia and the Shock of the New very much look very similar in their facial expressions and their cards and their energy. And one card for group 1. How they're doing emotionally, Spirit. How's group 1 doing emotionally, please, Spirit? One card. Thank you. Oh, geez. The bottom card is the Yes. And I will read that, please, if you would just focus, camera. Open-hearted, acceptance, and excitement. It might seem impossible, but now is the time to receive. There's much abundance waiting for you, but the form it takes is up to you. Be open to every good thing, knowing that you will know the best thing when it comes. Very nice. Now let's get your card off the floor. Yeah. Oh, wow. You know, I've shuffled this deck so many times, but I don't think I've actually seen this card. It's the Voyager. Initiation, new beginnings, and the unknown. Today is the day. There is something that you have been hesitant to do, and now is the time. Do not worry if you are ready or if it will turn out perfectly. It is not the destination, but the journey that the things of life are made of. Absolutely. Let me just shuffle forward a little. Hopefully not knock my camera over. Okay. Absolutely. That energy earlier, what I was telling you about when I came in, if you were relating to that, this is definitely your pile, because I feel like you are coming to the end of, or coming to terms with, some chaos, some turmoil, some struggle and strife, maybe things that you were like turning a blind eye to in the past and hoping would just go away if you just gave it its time to fix itself and sort itself out. But then you realize that no, unfortunately, pretending that it doesn't exist does not solve the problem. This might be a relationship, is what I'm hearing very strongly, like a person, a family member, a friend, a group of friends, a partner. Maybe there's a dispute or something that you are uncomfortable with, something that they're doing that you disliked. I'm hearing that they're a completely different person than you were expecting, or a completely different person than how they were appearing, or they've changed really not for the best. And you've kind of kept yourself tangled up in a mindset of that it'll get better. They're just going through a phase. It's fine. They know. They're trying. You know, that kind of giving them the benefit of the doubt. And it's been long enough now, and you've been telling yourself this for long enough that you're like, okay, I don't think that this is going to change unless I say something. But mean, on one hand, do say something. Please communicate if you have a problem with your partner, with a friend, with a family member. If you have something you would like to say, something that is bothering you about what they're doing, as long as it's like reasonable, not like, I don't like the way you dress. You know, like, get over yourself. But like genuinely, like if they're doing something behavioral wise or treating you a certain way, you know, acting a certain way, that stuff doesn't fly. You should definitely talk to them about them, get that out, because it's not going to solve itself. It's not going to just one day you wake up and you guys are all cash money again and everything is water under the bridge. It's just going to keep getting worse. You guys are going to get more and more distant. It's going to get harder and harder on y'all. I feel like you've been really fighting and looking to find you've been almost like this is kind of been a catalyst to push you inward and get back to your maybe you're like a creative person, getting a really creative person, not just because of the creativity, but like all of these are very colorful and pretty cards, even though there's a couple of very dark cards in here. You know, just because like that's the energy kind of lingering around. You can't really escape it. Like you're a very colorful, creative, imaginative, maybe even empathetic person. And I feel like this is just like I'm getting Libra energy. Like you are very loving and caring, but you don't want to shake the boat. You don't want to cause ripples in the water. You know, you'd rather just keep the peace and let things fester because, well, they're happy, or well, I might be just sensitive, or it could be worse. You know, that kind of energy. But no. Just because it could be worse doesn't mean it should have to sit in this energy of not great. You deserve better. You are great. You are this Mother Gaia energy. You're supposed to be this joyous. Look, the funniest thing, I saw this card when I was shuffling the first time, but this girl is just dead ass, straight faced. Even though this is the joy card, she's supposed to be super duper happy. Why does she just look so fucking bored? That's you. You are very much just tired, bored, putting on the face. I keep hearing, damn bro, you got the whole squad laughing, but in that really monotonous voice. Yeah, that's absolutely you. It's funny, all three women that are just like women only, even this one, all of them, scowl. Her, scowl. These two are slightly smiling. And I feel like that's what you're trying to get to. That's what you want, is to work with someone, be around people. Like, you want this harmony with this person. You want things to work out and be happy. And Spirit's telling you, if you do want that, you're going to have to actually speak your mind, because they can't read your mind. And if you want it to work out, you guys are going to have to communicate so you can compromise or make things happen. Otherwise, you're just going to have to sit here, grinning and bearing it. And it doesn't look like you're having fun with that. I can tell you I can't have fun with that. I used to do that. Gods, I hate that. It's miserable. Alright, interesting, very interesting vibes. Group 1. I'm going to take these off the table and move into your tarot. Oh, lovely. My neighbors are doing their laundry. Sorry if you can hear that. I'm sure you can at least feel it. Okay. Oh, no, okay. What is group 1 doing emotionally? Interesting. Doing emotionally. What's group 1 doing emotionally? Goodness. Thank you. Stop. Cool. 4 of coins, 4 of cups. Excuse my dyslexic self. Two of Coins, Two of Wands, the Seven of Wands in reverse, and the Five of Wands. Absolutely, very stifled. You are mixed up, man. You're like a snail in molasses right now because there's all this potential, all this energy, all these things you want to do, but there's just like, I really feel like it's either you are afraid of speaking up and voicing concern to make things move forward, or there is someone who is making you worried about it, and you've just kind of, yeah. So there's one or two things, or you might relate to both. I'm not sure. Number one, you are not very confident in yourself. I feel like maybe it's from past experiences, maybe with these people from your family, childhood, people you've known, dated, etc. Trauma is ugly. I hate it. She's ugly bitch. She can go die. But you maybe have been in these relationships and with people around people who have given you this mindset that you're only worth so much. You can only do so much. You're not that good. And now you've got all these idea, all this skill, all this inspiration and potential, and you're ready to go, and you're rearing and you're revving your engine, but it feels like you're stuck on park because there's this voice in your head telling you, it's not going to work out. You're not good enough. Yeah, someone else will do it better. Which is the worst voice, and I'll beat that voice up in the alley. But the other idea that I'm having is that this person that you're currently with is giving you these ideas, making you feel small, stuck, insignificant, unable to bat. I'm hearing bat over your like bat outside of your league. I don't know if that makes sense. You know what I mean? But something or someone is keeping you in this kind of meh energy. You're not able to do more energy. And now you're kind of stuck deciding, do I want to continue on this path of mediocrity and just, getting what I can get? Or do I really want to try and look towards the future and look towards the potential of what I have and what I could have and what I know and what I could learn, who's out there, what's out there, what life has to offer, pretty much. Do I want to keep myself confined to this little box, fighting for scraps, or do I want to fight the nonsense in my head, the nonsense around me, and take a leap? I'm really getting the Fool. Do I want to take a leap of faith? Very good, very interesting. Group 1, can I get one clarification on Two of Coins, please? Here. Two of Coins, please. The Three of Wands in reverse. Clarify the Two of Wands, please. Thank you. Ace of Swords. Clarify the Seven of Wands for me, please. The Devil. Clarify the Five of Wands for me, please. Thank you. Got the Two of Swords in reverse. Clarifying the Five of Wands. Absolutely. Yep, and there's that Four of Coins that I said earlier on accident. Lol. There's the Four of Coins in reverse. Absolutely. You've got your little... I heard, don't touch my garbage. You've got your garbage pile, Oscar the Grouch, and you're afraid of letting go of it and what stepping outside of that trash can might entail. But you're also like, the world outside this trash can might be pretty cool. Not gonna lie. I gotta go see it though. And that's scary. I don't like the idea of getting up and leaving. Because I'm very comfortable here. It's like a bed. It's very cozy. It's very toasty. And you can't do too much in a bed. You can bring stuff into the bed and do things, but like, there's a limit to what you can do in bed. You gotta get out of bed and do things and explore the world sometimes. I mean, at the very least, you gotta get out of bed to eat and to Go get the packages from the door. Absolutely, you kept yourself in this very limited life view, keeping yourself in a almost like the things that you dream of will only ever be dreams for whatever reason. And I'm really getting strong with that. It's because of these people around you that you've known who have kept you, who have taught you almost. This devil energy is definitely a mindset, a person, people who have taught you this mindset, this way of living and thinking that is like you are not enough, you are not going to achieve, you are stuck pretty much with what life gives you. So like if you had to end up becoming a janitor or something because of circumstances, you know, like I'm really getting like maybe you took a couple wrong turns in life, or things, maybe you rolled a 1 in luck and things just did not work out the way you wanted a lot of times. Like maybe the school enrollment, you didn't get into the school you wanted, or I'm also hearing unexpected pregnancy maybe for some of you. You know, children popping up suddenly will definitely derail a life. But I'm getting that like maybe you had to do some survival type shit to get by. And maybe even you slipped into some not great habits. And you're still maybe even trying to unlearn now that you're struggling with, that like vices, addictions, bad, just poor habits and emotional habits and life habits that are things that maybe even you did just to cope and survive with what you were going through. But now you're able to, maybe you're in a more stable place. Maybe you are just coming out of that rock bottom energy and able to process life at a little bit less of a survival mode lens. And now you're thinking, oh wow, this is not how I want to live. These are not the people I want around me. This is not what's meant for me. I could do better. I don't have to stay here stuck and unable to move on and unable to do things and unable to be my own person, really. I feel like this epiphany may have come to you like very recently too. There's very much a lot of fire energy in this, and we are in Aries season strong. Not all of these, but many of these have Aries strong in their energy. But this is definitely like you realizing your potential, you looking at your thoughts as not just like, a daydream, and more like this is an idea, this is potential, write that down. SpongeBob, write that down, write that down. Definitely in the coming time, especially with this 3 of Wands and all this 2, 3, we're only missing the 4 and 5, you are making progress forward. You are making plans and trying to figure out how to achieve what it is that you want, instead of just keeping it in the back of your mind as a one day maybe, you know, oh, what a fantasy if I hit the lottery. Why wait? Song, I'm going to write you guys a song in the description because the song just came to mind really well. I like that song a lot. It's called Powerball by Topaz Jones. Love Topaz Jones. He's great. He's great. He's a vibe. I'm going to get you some oracle cards. Advice. Where is my deck? I think it's in this bag. Yes. Fantastic. Not this deck, but I do like this deck. I'll use that one next one. Group 1. Can I get some advice for Group 1 spirit? Is balance, spirituality, and practicality. Full moon in Pisces, reversed. actually. Look at the bigger picture. Full moon Sagittarius reverse. You and your loved ones are safe. New moon in Cancer reverse. And take time to breathe. Disseminating moon in reverse. You might be someone who's very much worried about other people's well-being over your own, which is kind of probably the why people have been hurting you and here and taking advantage of you over the years. Because you care. You have a big bleeding heart. You're very much a Queen of Cups type energy who loves and cares. I mean, you were Mother Gaia. You are the heart of the earth, the world. You might have like a strong Cancer placement, but I feel like you've spent so much time in your life bleeding for and taking care of others instead of yourself. And Spirit is telling you, yes, it is time for you to take care of yourself. No, you don't have to take care of everyone else every minute of your day. They'll be okay if you take a minute for yourself. Take a step back and, do some self-care. Focus on you. Take care of just your business instead of, you do too much. You're not Superman, Absolutely, though. It's just been a fight for you to get any peace, for you to get any support, someone backing you up in your court. And that's definitely something that Spirit is telling you that it's here for you. The universe, Spirit, your guides, they are all here for you if you always need a shoulder to just vent to, cry on, rely on. They're there. Just go to nature, a river. If you just light a fire, fucking light a candle if that's all you got, and just communicate with Spirit, ask it, talk to it, just do what you need to do. Just feel at ease, to feel comforted, and don't feel bad if you need some time alone, if you need to change things around, like if your needs are changing, if your emotional requirements are changing, if your energy levels is something I'm hearing, like maybe you were someone who was able to run on like 2 hours of sleep for years, and now suddenly if you don't get more, at least like 6 to 7 hours, you will die. But the Spirit's saying, listen to your body, listen to your heart, take time out to actually pay attention to what you need and what you're lacking and what is happening around you, and if it's actually serving you and your greater good, or if you're just kind of keeping these habits up to keep the wheel spinning, essentially. Ugh. Group 1, you guys are tired. I love you guys, but you guys, fatiguing me. Couple more oracle cards to close out for advice. Group 1, can I get some advice for Group 1, please, Spirit? Advice, please, Spirit. One more card, please. Thank you. Alright, good. Spirit of Isis in reverse. Triumph of the Goddess! Exclamation mark. Off to the side. We've got Truths Unveiled in reverse. The Revelation of Isis. My entire deck just decided to implode onto my table. Thank you so much. Excuse you. Yes, yes, I know. Precarious, aren't we? There we go. Yee. Oh yeah. It's precarious, very. There, fixed. But, Temple of the Black Obsidian in reverse. The Dark Healing Chamber. And Initiation. Spiritual Testing of Ra in the Lady Isis. Absolutely. I heard this has all been a test, and you passed. Excuse me, I told you, I'm tired now. Y'all exhausted me. This has been a lot. This whole thing has been a lot. Your journey, your life, this has been a lot of death, rebirth, growing, healing, changing, and realizing things that don't serve you, that you don't need, that you don't want, that were pushed upon you. I feel like you've really been unlearning lies that have been in your head. And that is kind of like your big process that Spirit is giving you advice of, is to keep doing that. This has all just been learning experiences. It's none of these like life experiences, relationships, any of that has been purposeless, just failures or something. It's what I'm hearing. It's like, I feel like you've been through some experiences and people and places where it's like, maybe you were in a relationship with them, you knew them, got to know them, and then they turned out to be a piece of crap. And you're like, well, damn, that was pointless. That was a bunch of wasted time and effort. No. Never a waste of time and effort. You see, those people get thrown at you to show you what you don't need, and the things that you don't like, the things that you won't be falling for. None of these relationships are just out of spite. None of this is just Spirit throwing people at you to give you the middle finger. Spirit would never do that. I didn't even look at the bottom deck of, Oh, no I did. It got scooped up, didn't it? It did. Ha ha ha. Look at the bottom deck. Got switched around because all the cards fell in. And now it says, what do you need to release? Waxing Moon in reverse, or Waning Moon in reverse. I'm pretty sure you had Waning Crescent in your reading. So I'm going to... Yeah, like that. Pretty sure Waning Moon was your moon card. But yeah, this has been showing you what in your life does not belong, will not belong, and will not stand ever again. Like, because you've been through these relationships, you've been through these experiences, you know this and have this knowledge in your mind and you're under your belt. Now you can intuitively, I feel like this has really been also experience in strengthening your like solar plexus, your gut intuition and learning, and maybe even have been this might have also been just like the experiences that you needed to bring you to a spiritual awakening or a spiritual bring you onto a spiritual path that you may have not otherwise been exposed to. But everything here, excuse me, that was my shoulder. But you have become a stronger, wiser person because of everything, and this is not something that is going to burden you, bring you down, otherwise make you suffer any longer. You are growing past this, healing these wounds, and better off because of it. This is, I'm getting like necessary evil, you know? Like when you look back at things, you're like, damn, if I had never ABC'd, I would have never XYZ'd, you know, that kind of experience. Like if example, like if someone ended up going to like, wow, really specific weird, but I'm hearing, this probably does not apply to any, maybe one or two of you, but maybe you got sent away to a camp, a conversion camp or something because you're queer, and you learned there that most of the people who do these kind of things, like sending people away to gay camp and running gay camps, they are closeted and or just very insecure and scared themselves. And maybe you met some people there who were like, yeah, I understand that. Definitely feel that. and together y'all end up leaving cured, quote unquote, and go like start your own organization to help kids like you. And it ends up creating such a beautiful thing on the other side, but you probably would have never thought to go that route if you had never been forced into the gay conversion camp. Side note: watch, but I'm a cheerleader. If you've never seen it, because it's literally just pretty much that I just described, and Natasha Lyonne's in it, and I love her. She's delightful. Oh, that card is backwards. Cool. Alright, I'm gonna get you some President's Humanity cards just to round out the reading. Alright, Group 1, can I get any more advice for Group 1, please, Spirit? Thank you. Advice for Group 1, please, Spirit. Thank you. Done hard. All you can eat shrimp for $4.99. Absolutely. You are limitless. All it came at was a tiny cost. A small cost, you know, small price to pay. Right. No? Okay. Okay, where'd you go? Take that. I got my soul in reverse. The Holy Bible. Expecting a burp and vomiting on the floor in reverse. And the Ubermensch in reverse. I'm hearing for some of you that you may have experienced some like religious trauma or struggle, like maybe your family was hyper religious and super conservative, and that was maybe something that made you feel like askew, because maybe you also did have like a connection to the church or spirit, but it was the middleman that was the determining factor, and made you feel really crappy that you couldn't really enjoy religion and spirituality the way you wanted to. It made you feel very like small and insecure and like a terrible person, honestly. And Spirit is telling you, no hard feelings. They understood. They saw you. They feel you. You're valid. You're not the only one. You're not the first, and you will not be the last. All that matters is that you kept your faith, your love for your for Spirit. You tried. You cared, and that you are on the right path in the end. Because you will, all roads will lead back to your Spirit, however that may be. And I feel like this is also Spirit telling you that, hey, you've gotten over the worst of it. You've been through the ringer. You've seen hell, honestly, and nothing will faze you. You've become out more powerful, wiser, and with better guidance and better morals, better structure to yourself than, honestly, the people who try to tear you down. And it's going to show. If it's not showing now, if you're not already on the path to figuring out how to succeed and make your dreams come true, then it's coming. It's literally on the horizon. You're going to be blessed. You're going to see that all that hope, all those dreams were not for nothing, and that you are much bigger. I heard you're a bigger threat than they wanted you to think. Definitely, absolutely. And I'm here for that Group 1. I'm so happy for you guys to be getting through this chaotic energy and the struggle that you've lived through and had to endure, because you deserve better, for sure. And I think that's what I've got for you guys today. Thank you so much. Group 1. And all that it took to get here. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you to my guides as well as yours for helping me channel these energies. Thanks for watching. You want to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Thank you for supporting my channel and my readings. Check the description if you want to see the cards used. I'm going to leave a song and a video for you guys. And if you want to get a private reading. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next one. Hello, Group 2, and welcome if you chose this blue goldstone piece. This is your group. Oh, excuse me. Set it over there. I don't know what it's about you. You guys might have a sunnier disposition, just like even when you're in a bad mood, you might be the kind who is just kind of naturally outgoing, extroverted, perky, bouncy. Because last pile was a lot, but I was like, all right, let's do group 2, and suddenly it was raring to go. I only just yawned, and it is late. So I'm kind of surprised. So we're going to get into how we are doing emotionally today, group 2. You got Lion in reverse. Power, loyalty, leadership, and family. Crayfish in reverse. Protection, perseverance, vulnerability, and regeneration. In the world, not of this world, in reverse. Very pretty. I like this deck so much. This is the Sacred Rebels deck. The Warrior in reverse. And I will read that after I'm done putting all these out. Yeah, Owl in reverse. It says, wise seeing, wise action. Excuse me. Divination. Take a breath, take it twice. Insightful reflections are guided by light. Got Waning Crescent, rest. And Travel in reverse. Alone in the World in reverse. And finally, Surrender. It says, I can release my need to control. Definitely, for sure. Now back to this card. I gotta flip it around because I am dyslexic. The Warrior. Intuition, stealth, and determination. Now is the time to be for yourself, to stand up for who you are and what you believe in, and to protect the vulnerable places within you that are still in the process of healing. Do not be afraid. Know that you are worth it. All of it. Absolutely. I was just getting the sense that you might be an older sibling, or just a caretaker in general, someone who has had to take care of people, had to have been the bigger person, whether you were ready to be, whether you wanted to be, or whether you were prepared and knew how to be. You just had to step up to the bat many times. It might have even stemmed from childhood. For some of you, you may have come from a family like a single mom, or just a working class family where, you know, someone had to take care of the kids and parents were working or exhausted, so if you didn't feed them, then who was going to? I definitely understand. Sometimes you just gotta take care and do it, and it's taught you. I feel like you've learned to put your needs and wants to the wayside, and instead to take care of the pack, the family, the community. And I feel like you either have been proven or fear that if you need need that same assurance, that same help and protection back, that it won't be extended back to you. I'm not sure if this is an actual thing with the alone in the world reversed. I'm feeling like this is more of a fear than an actuality. Also a lot of animals, a lot of cats. Specifically, we got these two cats right here. And I know that is an owl, but its eyes are very feline. You might be either an animal lover connected to cats and specifics, or you might have a spirit, a deity who is connected to cats. I'm just saying. I get that you undersell yourself, though. You kind of just, you tell yourself you're stuck in this way, this box, this being maladjusted is what I'm hearing. That's just because of it's the what you know right now. It's not what you have to be. You're a very resilient, strong person, group 2, and you take everything in stride. I'm getting very like Taurus energy from you. You might not have seen everything. I feel like you might not be someone who might be like street smart or something. Like you might not have come from. Well, no, I'm not getting that specifically because I'm getting a bunch of messages. But you might not be someone who had to like, you know, struggle the very worst to survive. Like you might have been like maybe middle class. Like, you know, you might not have been homeless per se. You may have been. I'm not saying. I'm not, you know, I'm not sure who's watching this, but you might not have been through the very worst. That's what I'm hearing. Is like other people have had it worse. Is what I'm getting, and I feel like because of that, you're kind of underselling your experiences, your knowledge, and you're honestly like your whole life, just all that you've learned and all, your wisdom. That's the word. Your wisdom and what you have to offer and what you know and what you've experienced. You are very wise. You're very well-read. I feel like you're a very old soul. If you're not an older person, you're a very old soul. And with the in the world, not of the world, in reverse, I feel like you might be someone who is maybe a little different, or just came from a different path, went down a different way. Excuse me. It's a little bit. I need some water, thank you. Like you might not have gone the same way as everyone else around you, but it worked in your favor. It worked for you, and it taught you all sorts of things. It showed you a path. It showed you like lessons and experiences that you may not have otherwise experienced if you just gone the way everyone else did. Like maybe, using myself an example, maybe I dropped out of high school at the very end because of mental health. Just wasn't great. But that also took me down a whole different route of like meeting people, experiencing relationships, going through jobs, etc., and housing, and just like a culture shock of independence, like a different specific kind of independence that definitely helped me become who I am now. If I hadn't gone through that couple of years, I definitely would be a different person. You might have gone through that kind of experience. Maybe you were kicked out was the first one that came to mind. You might have been kicked out. You might have been displaced. You may have, like I said, dropped out. You may have made a couple bad choices. I heard, just did a bad thing. I regret the thing I did. But yeah, you might have made a couple left turns at Albuquerque and ended up somewhere and made a couple less than stellar life choices, but that may have guided you into like learning, experiencing, and otherwise just like having a more fulfilling life and coming back with a knowledge, a wisdom, and just like getting like very hermit energy. You've really traveled. you've come back. You've walked your own road, your path, and you've come back, and now you have that knowledge, that wisdom to tell everyone else. Be like, yeah. So here's what's up, people. What's happening? Definitely, if you aren't doing spiritual things, I think you should try. You could probably pick up a deck. You'd probably be good at it, I reckon. But above all, just calm down. I feel you're very... You put out this, like, I'm fine, it's fine, it's only a flesh wound kind of energy. You need to slow down, just pump the brakes, just for a second. You don't need to scale every mountain right now. They'll be there, trust me. They'll be there tomorrow. You just need to take a nap, calm down. I said calm down like 3 times now. You might use like an energetic facade to hide that, like, you're crumbling a little. You're just barely making it, you know. Don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help. Because you've got people around you. You're not alone, and you have the resources, if not the people around you, to reach out to and ask for advice, for help, for someone to lean on, whatever it is that you might need. You don't need to fight this fight alone, if there is a fight to fight. And you don't need to be the strong, independent one all the time. Because I feel like that's just kind of part of your nature. Very Capricorn energy, very Earth sign, yes. You're very much someone who likes to be in charge, in control, and otherwise on top of shit. Alright. Group 2. Let's get some tarot cards out for you on your emotions. Don't worry about that one. Deck later. Take a sip of water because I'm just exceedingly thirsty. Y'all might need to drink more water too. Oh goodness. This should drop the whole deck, you know. Oh, I love this deck. Excuse you, sir. The deck's excited to see you too. 10 of Wands is very much your energy. That's the one that fell out. Group 2, please, Spirit. Group 2. Group 2 doing emotionally, Spirit. Emotionally, Spirit. Group 2 doing emotionally. Goodness, golly gods. Group 2 doing emotionally, Spirit. Thank you. There's that kind of Wands. Group 2, doing emotionally, Spirit. That took its slow time coming out. Got the Queen of Swords in reverse. Here, your bottom deck. Where did they go? 1, 2. I've got 5 cards, so I might get a 6th card because I do not like uneven numbers. Not for my readings. I get one more card, please, Spirit. Thank you. I'll put that over there. Please excuse my rattly ass chair. Okay, so we've got the 5 of Swords in reverse. We have Strength, which is 11 in this deck. The Crow's Magic deck, by the way. Excuse me. 10 of Wands in reverse. It showed itself upright when it fell out of the deck, actually, so very interesting. Might be letting go of what all these responsibilities, like I was saying. Got the 8 of Coins in reverse. Hermit in reverse. There's that Hermit that I said earlier. And the Fool. Very interesting because we already only have 2 upright cards, and we have 3 of the cards being Major Arcana. And not a single Cup card in an emotional reading. So yeah, you are very much not an emotional person. I'm really feeling Earth energy. Even though we only have 1 Earth card out here technically. Well, 2, because Hermit is ruled by Virgo. But we're really getting like earthy energy. You might have like a Capricorn moon. It's the first thing coming off the top of my head. But you're definitely figuring things out right now. Like I said, especially with that Queen of Swords in reverse, you're taking the things that hurt you, and instead of letting them turn you cold and bitter, mean, vindictive, cruel. I don't know why I started just listing adjectives. I wanted just long words. You're taking that and you're unshackling your burdens from that, I feel like. Because you're learning your lessons and you're analyzing, you're looking back and you're thinking, you're figuring out what it is that was your fault, what it is that you really are to blame for. I feel like you may have in the past put a lot more blame on your shoulders than what was justified. Because in your eyes you were in charge, in your eyes you were the reason things went wrong. That's the message. Something may have gone awry, come apart, things may not have worked out in your favor as you intended. I speak English sometimes. And at the time you may have been like, damn, it's really my fault that all of this is going to hell. I wish with all my heart to fly with dragons and land apart. Okay. Maybe you're really into kid shows, because I've been getting a lot of that kind of bubbly energy. And that was the Dragon Tales incantation. I think you could call it that. But yeah, you might be looking back at past experiences, relationships, arguments in particular, just disputes and what do you call that? Confrontations that you really were placing the blame solely on yourself, where in actuality it was like, well, actually there was a whole series of reasons that this was building up to a blowout, and maybe 1% is your fault, you know, the normal amount. It's very interesting because strength is usually the 8th card, and in this deck it's the 11th card. So I was gonna say it's a progression, but I reread it and I was like, no, it's 11. But they mirror themselves, which is very interesting because this is IX and this is XI. Did that backwards, but you get it. I feel like you've spent a lot of time either in self-isolation or just away from people because maybe people didn't want to spend time with you. That just doesn't, that's not nice. But yeah, I feel like you may have been, I'm getting bullied, isolated, alienated, just otherwise kind of forced into isolation is what I'm getting, like exiled, that's the word. And it was meant to make you like hurt. I'm getting this in the past, of course. Like you right now is the strength energy. That strength energy is really you on. Like these 2 upright cards are very much where you are right now. But I feel like you were pushed into isolation, and it was supposed to like hurt you, cut you off, make you weak, and shrivel up and die. Because for some reason I feel like people were really lobbing this blame on you. And I feel like you didn't just get this feeling of I did all this wrong, I'm wholly to blame from out of thin air. People told you this, someone told you this, whether it was one person or a group of people, whether it was like family, friends, peers, coworkers, whoever, a group of people who were just antagonistic as all get out, and just really were just pushing you in a corner. And they thought that shoving you in a corner and pretty much cutting you off and isolating you was going to A, solve their problems, and B, be the best course of action to make you like repent or whatever, or do better. I don't know. But in actuality, you ended up you did grow from it. Like, I guess mission failed successfully, but like not because they shoved you in a corner away from everyone, but because it showed you, A, those people fucking suck, and that you can do better without them. But B, it showed you, you know, how to actually handle yourself, do better, be the best version of yourself. You may have actually been a not that great person. You may not have wielded your power and your knowledge and your tongue the best way. And it might not been, like I said, it might not be, it's probably more like 1 to 10% your fault what happened, but like, they were trying to put like 110% on you, and that's not right. 100% and strength is 11. But, water break. But you've come back now stronger, even better, and you're got all this knowledge, all this ability. I feel like you have healed a lot in this time and come into yourself, into confidence, into your, not like your ego per se, but like your pride. You're prideful, not in like the narcissistic kind of way, but in the kind of like proud. I'm proud of what I do. I know what my worth. I know what I'm good for. I know what I can do. I know how to handle myself. I know I am the shit, and no one can tell me otherwise. And if anyone tried to tell you, burden you, tried to put onto you stuff that was not your fault, that was below you, is what I'm hearing. Anything that is just not serving, not your fault, not your problem, not your responsibility, you'd be able to tell them, no, actually, and get by. And I love that for you, too. That's great. I've dealt with that for sure, and I hate hearing about just people who bad on someone and antagonize them and get them into a bubble, a mindset, trap them, essentially, and leave them forward, just suffering, for unable to get out of their head, out of this way of life, out of this way of thinking. And thankfully you are being that. It wasn't easy, I'm getting, and you're still getting through it, and you're still growing and healing, and I feel like it's a process, of course, and you didn't do it alone. But definitely either being isolated or being away from people who you thought were there for you was a helpful and needed experience, and a necessary evil is what I'm getting. Like, you didn't love it, it wasn't great, but it was necessary to get you to where you are now, the strong badass that you are, who can just take anything, essentially. You were a tank. Alright, I want to get some advice for you, group 2. Let's get some cards. Excuse you. Oh, where'd he go? I heard it. Please. There it is. Awesome. Okay. Let's shuffle the Moonology deck for a couple cards. Hold on, let me get some water. Yeah, you really transformed that pain, that burden, that struggle, the pain and burden of responsibility. You turned it into new opportunity and new knowledge, new experiences. You turned it around, essentially. You turn that into a work. Alright. Group 2, got a couple cards for group 2. energy is gaining momentum in reverse. Waxing moon. Alright, children, why do you always throw yourselves on the floor? The cards have been extra bumpy with you. Group 1 wasn't much better, but Gemini, even while I was shuffling your cards before for the Oracle decks, it was just a mess. They were just throwing themselves in the corner, on the floor, and just all over. I was like, geez, calm down, please. What's going on? I feel like you've got a very active and loving spirit team. They have a lot to tell you, and maybe you need to check in with them a little bit more. With love. Okay, so we've got the answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini, which I don't think that's going to be for like at least 6 months, 8 months, something like that. And new start is coming. New moon. Fun fact, as I'm filming this, the new moon is happening, essentially. It's happening this weekend. Got step out of your comfort zone. North Node in reverse. And bring love into the situation. New moon in Aquarius. Absolutely. Oh. Absolutely. I feel like you've been waiting on something you've been working on with that full at the very end. I feel like you've been working on starting, figuring out where you want to go, what you want to do, and it's kind of it's been culminating over the years because you've been figuring things out. It's taken a lot of introspection, a lot of self-care. Like this, bring love into the situation. I feel like it's very self-centered. You were very, especially with the full moon in Gemini and a new moon in Aquarius, and the Queen of Swords in your bottom deck. You're a very mental, you might be very mercurial or just air sign too, but you're a very mental, very logical person. So you've been taking care of yourself by figuring things out in your head and figuring out what you want, what you need. You know, very logically. You may have been getting some lists together, some journaling. You might have been talked with a professional. And I think overall you've been practicing better self-love, self-care practices. Maybe even been taking care of yourself better, getting a life routine together, you know, getting the fitness together, or just generally figuring out a plan of taking care of yourself. That rest card from the waning crescent back in the beginning, for sure. You know, I feel like you've been prepared knowing that the next steps are going to include something that you're not maybe so happy about, i.e. like maybe if you don't like public speaking, you know the next thing you have to do is going to be like presenting in front of a bunch of people, and you're like, that sucks, but it's something you want, so it doesn't really matter. You're going to kick ass anyway. You just gotta, don't worry about it, because I feel like worrying about it is going to mess you up more than the actual event. As long as you just kind of remember, you're human, it's life. Worst case scenario, you mess up a little, we have a laugh, we get over it. Gemini is very funny energy, so like definitely just laugh it out, make a joke out of it. That's one of my favorite things to do when I stutter, is I will stutter and then I'll make like a Porky Pig type joke. I'm like, and then just keep going. You know, we're all human, we all stutter, we all mess up, it's life. As long as you're ready to roll with the punches, I feel like you've taken a lot worse on the chin, honestly. So this is nothing. You'll be fine. Whatever you have to face, whatever comes to bite you, you will take it like a champ, and it will work out in your favor. Don't even worry about it. Sorry, I'm also listening to music. One more shot. Right. Can I get a couple cards from this deck, please, for Group 2 Advice Spirit? Okay, that works. Thank you. We've got Enter the Chamber of Healing in reverse. Yeah, you've definitely been doing your healing. You've been working on yourself and your mental space. Healing in the divine chamber of the Lady Isis. We got power over 7 scorpions. You want this to be upright. Okay. Power of the 7 scorpions. Power to the conjure lower vibrational forces. We've got Temple of the Black Obsidian. Very protective. That big ball back there is black obsidian. And the blue goldstone actually is the very darkest of all the stones that I chose. So, very interesting. You might want to get yourself some black obsidian. The Dark Healing Chamber. And the Knot of Isis in reverse. Energetic stabilization with the Buckle of the Beloved. Absolutely. I'm getting that almost like you are this right here in this card energy. Like you have done your healing, or you're doing your healing. You've come up to terms with a lot of I feel like you've come through a lot of like dark night of the soul, a lot of shadow work, a lot of just facing the ugly, the dark, the things people usually don't want to look at. You've faced them, looked them down, spit in their eye, and now you know how to handle yourself, you know. I feel like even you did a lot of this without spirituality. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, I have my awakening, and I got really good, like, which is great, don't get me wrong. But I feel like spirituality was just kind of like the extra push, if you know what I mean. Like, plants are gonna grow and thrive in soil anyway. So you were already like the seed, and you were planted outside and watered and rained, and you know you did your dang thing. But then someone came along and fertilized you with the spirituality, and then you know now it's like Isis came and just appeared and threw a little fertilizer on, which is like, yeah, I'm gonna make this one bloom. And then that's you. You just popped out the earth like, hello, hi, we out here. Ugh. I really do feel like people underestimate you, and it's led to you underestimating you as well, and almost not believing in all that you can do and all you can accomplish. You're powerful. You've got all this power and energy, divine team. Like I feel like, especially Isis, if you're not a practicing spiritualist, maybe it wouldn't really matter to you. But if you're into spirituality, if you pray to deities, you might want to get in touch with Isis, because I feel like she in particular, she likes you. She has a favorite, like, interest in you. There might also be a call towards some moon spirits in general. Keep being drawn towards my lamp, which is a moon-shaped lamp. Interesting, very interesting. Alright, I'm not getting much more of that. Oh, I feel like you're almost very well aware of what you need and what you know and what you need to do. You might, like I said, you're very logical, thoughtful in your head. You might think about these things a lot. Forget to take breaks though and rest. I feel like you are well aware of your limits and the fact that you do best when you are not stressed, but Spirit's just gently nudging and reminding you, take breaks, take rest, don't rush yourself. It'll happen. Fucking Sistine Chapel wasn't painted in a day. Okay, let's get one card, a couple cards for Cards Against Humanity deck to round out your advice. Spirit, can I get a couple cards of advice for group 2, please? Group 2, can I get a couple cards of advice for group 2, please? roofies. Yeah, I feel like that's just saying like you're well aware of the manipulation tactics, the way people try and influence you or even paint you as someone who would be manipulative and toxic and bad and that would be around. Because maybe you've been painted as the bad guy. Duh. Okay. So we've got the Make-A-Wish Foundation in reverse. I heard, I don't need your charity. I'm an adult. I took it and threw it on the ground. We got crippling debt in reverse. Surprise sex. And Bill Nye the Science Guy. Absolutely. I feel like it's you. You are Bill Nye the Science Guy in this situation. People may have counted you out, just called you a little nerd, geek, silly. Thought you were some charity case. But I feel like you've really shown them. Now you are glowing up. Now you are on your game. Now you know where you stumble. You know your weaknesses. You know your strengths, and you are playing to them. And you are really out here about to take on anything that the world throws at you. Really, I feel like you don't have. I'm here and I've got enough strings to hold me down. But yeah, I feel like you very much are unburdened, unbothered, unfettered by like the things in your past, the experiences that people want you to feel bad about. You just like, I feel bad that you still feel something towards that, man. And Spirit's just like, good, keep that energy up. We love that. Keep looking forward. Because honestly, whatever you need in your past will come to you. And then you can deal with it when you get there. Because if you've spent enough time looking at your past, examining it, and dealing with healing from and otherwise atoning for, it's time for you to thrive, and it's time for you to be alive. Love that. Love your energy group too. This has been real fun. Love tapping into you guys, and hope you've enjoyed getting this vibe check. Thanks for tuning in, and want to leave a like on this video if you like it. Subscribe if you want to see more. Look in the description if you want to see the decks used, get a private reading, anything else. And I want to thank your spirits as well as mine for helping me tune into this, your energy, and getting messages for you. And until next time, take it easy. Hello and welcome group 3 to your reading if you chose this lovely piece of labradorite. This is your group in your reading. We are asking Spirit today about moving forward. We are asking Spirit about an emotional check-in. Excuse my squeaky chair, I need some WD-40. But I've got a good handful of oracle cards here for you. We've got Blue Whale in reverse, Unity, Resonance, Magnificence, and Mastery. Receiving. Sorry. Scrying in reverse. Intuition. We got two of the inner child ones. The inner child itself. The what if in reverse. And I will read those after I get the cards out. Got the underworld. It says, hand over your known. A shift is near. Take a leap, your journey is clear. Got Isis in reverse. The goddess of magic and love. Patience. I accept that everything happens in divine order. Excuse me. Addicted in reverse. This card popped out before I finished shuffling, so I'm amused that it came out actually. Fear in reverse is our last card. Alright. Let's get back to these two cards. So, the inner child. Communication, grace, and self-love. Our inner child is comprised of the many different aspects of our childhood. At different times in our adult life, our inner child will need their voice to be heard. Practice listening to your inner child, speaking to them with love and kindness. And the what if. Verity, uncertainty, and courage. Our beliefs dictate our reality and what we believe will be the lens through which we view the world. I read that wrong. Our beliefs dictate our reality, and what we believe will be the lens through which we view the world. This lens may seem infallible, but it's not. Take time today to review your belief, making peace with uncertainty that it brings. Interestingly enough, there is a little speck of something that I'm trying to scrub off this card, and it's reversed, so you're definitely dealing with a, not a perspective change, just growing and expanding your horizon and what you know, what you're familiar with. It's opening you up to more, but it's going to take you definitely having the, I feel like I'm getting introspection and patience, both the words, not just because patience is right there on the card, but like self-patience, you know. You have to be able to be willing to, I feel like you're not going to be great at everything initially. And I feel like a message I'm getting here is Spirit wants you to harness that inner child curiosity of being willing to mess up and not be great, you know, just being willing to have fun and enjoy the whole experience of existing and being there, you know. I'm just happy to be involved kind of energy. And involve you channel your inner puppy. Dogs are always just happy to see you and exist in the same space. Like, oh boy, we are out here together. That butters my biscuits. There's no dogs out here, interestingly enough, but I very much feeling channel your inner dog. Maybe channel your inner baby deer, your Bambi. Maybe you like kids media or movies. No shame in enjoying those, especially if you can get them easily. Especially if they're cathartic or just non-stressful, you know. The world is a lot, and if you want to decompress by watching old kids cartoons or old movies that make you nostalgic or make you feel at peace, if anyone judges you for that, bupkis. You don't need them in your life. They are probably bitter and sad and don't get the same kind of happy enjoyment in life. But I digress. And that was just a message coming through. You're definitely someone who I feel like you've been through your share of highs and lows. Right now I feel like you might be in a little bit of a low. There's blessings coming in and things are going to improve. Things are working their way through. I feel like especially you are with the getting back to your curiosity and your enjoyment of life. You're expanding your horizons. You might be traveling, you might be meeting new people, starting a new job, just getting into new communities. With the underworld, I'm really feeling that you might find some groups, whether you have like some very niche hobbies or interests, or just you just start exploring and looking around, finding people who connect with you and can help slash or just kind of guided in the same way, in the same direction as you. You might have been coming through a period where there weren't many people who you felt really connected to. You might have felt very detached, very isolated, and not by choice. As in, like, if you had the choice, you'd be attracting people. You'd have more people in your circle. You'd have a much more, I feel like, abundant social life. But circumstances have been stopping you from living your best life, from exploring and really truly expanding your horizons in the way of like coming out of your comfort zone. Like you've been itching and waiting for these opportunities to just blossom and bloom, and you know it's been coming. It's just been backburnered, and the combination of the waiting game and circumstances out both in and outside of your control. And sometimes, you know, you're just not in the mood to meet people, or, you know, you're introverted and you don't want to go out and mingle with randoms, especially in these times, in this panoramic. But I really I feel like there's been obstacles thrown at you in all directions that have come in redirecting you. And you've been, you know, miffed. You really wish you could be out here making more friends and doing more fun things, but I feel like you've also kept in mind that the opportunity will come. If the cards haven't all been shuffled in my favor yet, that means that something is coming. And with that patience, I feel like even if outwardly you might complain, or you might be a little bit more impulsive, you overall are a very patient person. Like, you can take a lot before it makes you boil over. I also feel like you might be a very dependable person, like maybe not the most like reliable per se. I don't know why I'm getting that. I'm getting a lot of water energy, that's why. Which, no offense to water signs, I have lots of water. But sometimes they can be a little bit wishy-washy, especially with the scheduling and the plans, with the keeping timing and keeping time and being with the program, so to speak. So I feel like you might be someone who's a little bit less than prompt and a little bit less than stellar at scheduling and stuff. You might be working on that right now. That might be another thing that's a worry of yours. You don't be like, oh, hey, let's hang out, let's go do this, and then you oversleep, or you sleep through your alarm, or you double book, and now you've got two things happening at the same time. You're like, oh shit, who am I going to cancel on? you might have a tendency to do that, which is definitely a skill, a skill you have to unlearn. But I feel like you definitely understand that it's a waiting game a lot of times in life. You might be tired of waiting, but you understand that things don't work out, and that sometimes it's not going to be okay, and you're relatively fine with rolling with your punches and taking your L's. You might be a little bit more tended towards sad and like self-pity is kind of what I'm getting. But I also feel like that's something you're aware of now, and you're trying to work on healing and trying to work on, like, if not being able to just completely stop, then at least acknowledge and be like, whoa there, friend. You know, you might be working to get a therapist or in therapy. Good for you. Very great. If not, I feel like you might be at least just working on your mindfulness and being more aware of how you perceive and how you work, and like you're realizing that you're human and you have shortcomings, and you know, things will happen. You'll mess up. Some people won't like you. Some things won't work out. That's life. I feel like you've acknowledged that, but I feel like now in this time period, you're getting more comfortable in this. You're getting more comfortable with this, and the universe is rewarding you for this resilience, for this growth. I'm hearing, for this expansion and conquering of things that otherwise would have held you back and made you, at maybe like at an earlier point in your life, would have kept you from advancing and doing the things that you are now going to be breaking into and exploring. Very interesting, very cool. I like your vibes, Group 3. You're very cool people. I'm gonna need a drink of water and start shuffling some tarot cards. Alright. Excuse me. Just slap the camera all sideways, why don't you? Alright, let us shuffle. Excuse me. Very interesting. One more shuffle for me, please. Alright. Group 3. How is Group 3 doing emotional spirit? King of Wands that I dug out, and the Magician in reverse. Can I get one more card at least? Thank you. Got the Nine of Swords. That's where that Magician in reverse comes in. And we have Justice in reverse as our bottom deck for now. Yeah, definitely for sure. And I split the deck to the Hangman in reverse. We're coming out of a period of rest, learning, of inaction. You're progressing forward. I feel like you're coming out of actually a period where things just weren't working out for you, and you've had to kind of just brace yourself against everything seemingly just going in against your favor, whether it's just because things don't work out, or because some people are antagonistic. There might be a particular person or two who you've dealt with in your past, getting more like masculine energies that just put upon you some either unfortunate circumstances or were just unnecessarily dickish, and you've been either dealing with the repercussions of like being with them, like healing and moving on, and also relearning like important skills and growing, moving on from that and realizing your power, coming into your power that they tried to take away from you and smother out. But they couldn't. They could be one person, two people, a group of people, the world at large, society. I'm getting a lot of energies with the Justice in reverse. I'm getting it. Really, it might just be like the system, government, the cards at play, karma. Not karma isn't like you did something bad, but like the universe and how luck and fortune kind of comes around. You might be working out some last karma from before or something, and unfortunately it's worked out in the ugliest way. But you've braced it, you've fought the waves, and now you've come back out stronger, healed, bigger than ever, even better, more powerful. Like, you can't take me down as easily this time now. But there's still that lingering fear that like there might be someone, or there could be someone who could slip in past your defense, who could either get you vulnerable or get to you. As in, like, they're able to figure out how to make you tick and use that against you. I'm well aware that people like that exist, that there's always going to be toxic people, shitty people who just enjoy taking people apart and watching them crumble. But I feel like at this point you've learned, you've grown, and you're well aware of yourself enough, and maybe even of other people's patterns enough, to stop that if it were to start, if you were to see it, if you were to figure it out. And you'd be like, no. And we're cutting this off now, thank you very much. You're much more capable and have much more self-agency than you did before, and I feel like you're still coming to terms with that, like the fact of your power, of your growth, of your magnitude now, and your self-agency that you definitely didn't have, especially if this happened before when you were younger, or if you were just more vulnerable and naive at the time. Very interesting. King of Wands. Can I clarify the King of Wands, please, Barry? Okay, hilarious thing happened. My camera cut off right after I explained the first round. But right before I got all the cards out for the second round. So, I'll just read you what I got. Instead of reshuffling it. Because I was already reading it. So we got the Seven of Coins, clarifying the King of Wands. Three of Coins, clarifying Magician. The Knight of Cups, clarifying the Nine of Swords. And we got the Queen of Wands in reverse on your bottom deck. So I'm getting a couple things here. With the Eight of Wands beneath the Queen of Wands, also reversed. I feel like this has definitely not been an easy road of you finding yourself, coming into your power, realizing your potential, and figuring out what it is that you are passionate about, what drives you, what it is that you want to do, and what it is that gets you out of bed. It's taken trial and error. You've had opinions and people in your ear. You may, in particular with the Queen of Wands in reverse, there might have been one particular person or a group of people, or even just like not even a person, but like a influential situation. Something that had a lot of influence over your life, that was heavily involved with you, to the point that it made you question who you were and what you were doing with yourself and what you wanted to do with yourself, where you were going. And that, I feel like that fear is part of what you're still healing and what you're still worried about. And is another concern of yours with meeting new people, with getting new relationships. I'm not sure, these like platonic, romantic, whatever fits you. But with the Knight of Cups, I don't see him maliciously. That's a cool lizard. That's a cool dude. And so is the other lizard on the Three Cup Coins. Which I feel like is spirit telling you that even though you've been betrayed, even though you've been hurt, even though there are shitty, manipulative people, you will try and just learn you just to use it against you. Even though there are people who will get into your circle just to use your generosity. Yes, there's always going to be sucky people in the world. Unfortunately, you can't remove them all. There's always going to be a bad apple. But Spirit's telling you that's not all of them. You don't have to be super defensive and never trust anyone again. You don't have to do everything by yourself and become a complete pillar of strength because the last monarch you let in to rule beside you tried to get you assassinated. That's not something you gotta always worry about, and it won't always be a worry. I feel like the Nine of Swords is saying that yes, have a little bit of healthy fear, and anxiety might not go away entirely. I feel like you might have been an anxious person before this happened, or regardless, like if this hadn't happened, you might have still just been an anxious person. That would have just been how the cards laid out. But Spirit's saying like a healthy amount of apprehension is needed in life, you know, to doubt those unsavory charlatans who try and swindle you out of your love and your livelihood because they know that they can. My heat cut off. The ones who try and cut you off, you try to take your warmth from you. Steal your warmth and run. Not everyone's going to be like that, and you're going to meet and get involved with some really genuine, cool people who are going to have similar interests. You're going to be just as passionate and curious, interesting as you. I feel like these are definitely going to be people like coworkers, friends, maybe a romantic interest with the Knight of Cups. That's often a flirtatious kind of lad. He might be, or they might be, someone you think is neat, who has similar values, similar interests, maybe even some similar fears and experiences with people. You might not compare experiences. Trauma bonding is a mess, but y'all can learn and heal from each other and together. You know, being able to confront your emotions and your fears with someone who understands and won't judge you. That's always healing. that can be part of a really good and strong relationship, is what I'm saying. But always caution that partners are not therapists. You shouldn't be just like dumping your whole trauma on your partner, and vice versa. You shouldn't let your partner use you as their stand-in therapist. As much as you love them, please direct them to a professional if they are really that down bad. It is for all of your goods. Excuse me. You want a sip of water later? And what am I doing? Let's get some oracle cards now for some advice from Spirit. New romantic cycle begins. What did I just say? It's a new moon in Libra. Excuse me, which I'm filming this right around / after the new moon in Aries in the end of March / beginning of April. So Libra new moon wouldn't be for like 6 months. Yeah, October / give or take. You'd have to look it up. I'm not looking it up right now. It'll pertain to me when I get there, but six months give or take since Aries is happening right now. So maybe some things are going to be shifting around then. We shall see. Let's flip some cards. Got Surrender to the Divine, Full Moon. Very pretty. Nothing will come of this situation. Avoid a Course Moon. I think Group 2 got that one. I know they got Believe in the Impossible. All upright too. The energy is gaining momentum. Waxing moon. Like I said first, it's all upright. Very interesting. So big energy, big things moving forward. You are very powerful, and you are honestly at the start of your. This is not even your final form, is what I'm kind of getting. Excuse me. But you are just expanding and growing. You're going from feeling. God, my throat is so... goodness. That might be something you're working on as you're, speaking. Getting your thoughts out. Good on you. Very important. But it's very interesting that you're going from, kind of like a hopeless, worrisome situation with the Void of Course Moon to now leaving things like, que sera kind of energy. Like, what has happened has happened. What will be. And I'm going to move on with what I know, what I've done, and what I can do, and I'm just going to grow from it instead of letting this hold me back. I'm going to let it empower me. I'm going to let it fuel me. I'm going to open my heart instead of closing off and being cold and, it's kind of cynical, because sometimes when people hurt us, we just kind of shut down and we no longer allow any kind of joy, happiness, positivity, and just bad vibes. And I feel like you may have gone through a period of that, but you're definitely coming out of that. And now you're leaving. Not only you are getting in touch with yourself, if not a spirit team, then just your inner peace, inner divinity, inner child, and inner power, and really just getting in touch with yourself. I'm surprised Leo didn't come out. But you're just getting in your touch with your power and feeling yourself. And you're really remembering how to dream big, and the fact that pretty much life's what you make it, and the sky's the limit. Really, the only limitations are, besides capitalism, but whatever you can dream of, whatever you can fathom, and pretty much wherever your heart takes you. And, laws, but... Alright, I'm gonna get a couple cards from the Isis Oracle deck. take that. We got life restored in reverse. Priestess of the Phoenix. What you're like, man. I collect what you threw. Temple of Lapis Lazuli in reverse. Goddess of the ancient skies. Miracle of Isis. Miraculous healing of the goddess. And Wings of Isis. Uniting with the angelic self. Yeah, definitely echoing on that empowerment, self-empowerment, self-confidence. I'm getting a real, also divine masculine and feminine balancing and healing energy. I'm really getting in touch. I think I mentioned getting in touch with your body, your sexuality, or your sensuality. I'm not sure if I mentioned that in this pile, but I really feel that, like, with the King of Wands, you're really starting to see that you are, capital T, that bitch. And if you don't have, like, a connection with the spirit, with source, with your higher self, I feel like that's something that either you want to cultivate or you're working on cultivating. Or at the very least, like I said, you are getting really in touch with your self-love, with your self-healing, with reflection, introspection, what you need, what you want, what's good for you, what's not. Kind of Marie Kondoing your circle of people, of how you think, of how you experience the world. Because you've definitely were in a place of unhealthy thought, unhealthy patterns, and you're coming out of that stronger and wiser, regardless of how it felt like you were being knocked back several pegs in the moment, no matter how it felt like it would all just never culminate into anything except misery and heartache. And I'm getting the image of Chutes and Ladder, and you know when you know that one slide that's like right before the end. I feel like you've hit that slide at least twice. But now you're back, and you hit that ladder that does the exact opposite. That takes you pretty much right to the fucking end. And now you're on it. Now you're ready. Like I said, you might like kids media. No shame. Hey, if I had a copy of Chutes and Ladders or Candyland is honestly banger. Play those right now. You and me, let's go. You and me, group 3. I feel like we'd be friends. Alright, I'm gonna get you a couple more cards. Cards in the commander deck. Goodbye. Time travel paradox. It dropped out of the deck. Let's see. You need to drink more water. My throat is so scratchy. For no reason. I have chugged this entire water bottle. There's your auditory proof. Group 3. Can I get a couple more cards of advice for Group 3, please, Spirit? Oh, nice. Group 3. Take that, too. And more advice for Group 3, please, Spirit. I think I will take those. Got finger painting. Our bottom deck. Definitely get in touch with your inner child. Vibe, have fun, do something fun. How do you want to fall? Upright. Got it. How do you want to fall? On the floor. Great. Hello. Right, reverse. Got it. Right, let's see. Sniffing glue. Alcoholism. This is the first one where I think all of them are appropriate. Goblins in reverse. So you might be a more PG person. Like, I'm getting like you might be one of the people who makes a lot of euphemisms, like either silly ones or just like euphemisms in general, because maybe you don't like swearing, or maybe you're conditioned to not swear. Maybe your family was really strict on that. Got Morgan Freeman's voice in reverse. And Sunshine and Rainbows in reverse. Definitely. It's not all going to be uphill. It's not going to all be great. But you don't have to honestly throw yourself under the bus mentally and physically anymore. This is an issue that is resolving. You are getting through the pain. You've suffered enough. The worst has come and gone. And I feel like with the pain and the experiences that you've experienced, how eloquent. But with what you've been through, what you fought, with the goblins, I'm just getting like some like a, what do you call that? An old warrior, a chiseled warrior, grizzled warrior. There we go. Who has gone through the lands and fought through hordes of goblins and demons and whatever, and has just come out weathered, but a little bit better, worse for wear. And is tired. Like, it might not be uphill from here, and he might be in some pain and a little bit struggling from here, but he's kind of ready to squat, find a place to chill and maybe learn how to make yarn or something and lay his sword up on the mantle instead of having to swing it around. He's done. I feel like you are that warrior. You fought your fair fight. You've done your battles. You've gotten your scars and your tails and your rewards. But at this point, you just want to find what makes you happy, find a cozy little corner, and just curl up like a cat. No shame in it, and I feel like Spirit's definitely encouraging you to do so. But also take care of yourself. Don't let that be an excuse to slip into bad habits. You may have in the past struggled with bad habits, or you might be currently dealing with bad habits. Whether these are vices or mental, I feel impulses coming on, bad habits, as in maybe keeping up with people who you shouldn't, or talking to people, or stalking, internet stalking with people who you really just shouldn't be around. Spirit's knock that off, don't do that. And if you catch yourself doing it, maybe just mentally or physically give yourself a little slap on the wrist, no. And then redirect to something more worth your time, like finger painting, or doing some fun stuff. I feel like you don't have enough fun, like I said. Do more fun things. Get in touch with your inner child. Get in touch with what makes you happy, brings joy. Make all the little moments in your life joyful and fun. Because life's not going to always be a groovy ride, but you can make it about as groovy as possible, I think I've got about all I could out of that one. Excuse me. Yeah, and drink water. Spirit, I wanted to remind you, one of your time, drink water. But I think that is all I've seen here for you guys. But thank you so much for tuning in, and I'm just spacing out. You might be a spacey person. I've spaced all of the reading. But thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to the reading. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it really connected with you. Make sure to like the video. Check out the description if you want for a private reading or for the cards used. And yeah, otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you to your guides as well as mine for helping me get your energy through. And I hope that you take care of yourself. Take it easy. Hello, Group 4, and welcome. I'm already kicking the camera, jeez. If you chose this blue calcite piece, this is your group. And we are asking Spirit today about how we are doing emotionally. Just checking in, seeing the vibes. Alright, so we've got orangutan. If that would focus, that'd be great. Laughter, curiosity, patience, and play. My bad. But that was further back. Put that there instead. Got Python in reverse. This is discernment, detachment, transformation, and renewal. We have jack-o'-lantern, protection. stillness, and I will read this after I've got all the cards out. Actually, I'll put them down here so it's easier to get to. She feels, she knows, in reverse. The veil in reverse. And I'm just remembering now as I'm getting the cards out before I read this, you guys, your cards took a minute to get out. Like, they did not want to come out. Yeah, I would love it if my camera would focus, please. Thank you. But they did not want to come out, just like this does not want to focus. Okay, fine. Keep your secrets. But, yeah, every deck fought me to get cards out, and when they did get them, they kind of, most of them threw themselves on the floor or across the room, almost like in defiance. Getting that you guys are maybe a little guarded, just a little, just a skosh. Let's see, it says it's quite impossible. In English, I cannot speak it, so it's quite possible your eyes have become the fog in which you dwell. A half-swallowed glimpse of all that you truly are or can be. That the tears you bleed are ready for the storms to turn the skies inward. Also very interesting, two things. Number one, these two both are storm-related cards. Number two, I usually don't read my cards upside down because I'm dyslexic and it's already hard enough for me to read. So the fact that I read this card specifically in reverse, I feel like you guys might be a little bit different, a little bit weird. Maybe you excel specifically at reading upside down or at different weird angles. Or just reading bad handwriting in general. Maybe you're the friend who deciphers handwriting. But also, I'm getting very Aquarius energy. Aloof. Kind of loner. Even Scorpio kind of energy. You guys are definitely very different. Like I said, very guarded. That might be your moon sign specifically. Aquarius, Scorpio, Capricorn. But, I need to rush to conclusions, you know. Just throwing that out there because that just struck me. Got first quarter. Take action. Hey, camera. Hey, camera. Hey, camera. Por favor. Por favor, mi amor. Misa de Kuranaipa. Anything? Oh, it almost worked. Anyway. Yeah, I think you saw it good enough. We'll figure him out. Courage. Oh, it almost focused for a second. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. Today for tomorrow. And Terra in reverse. Yeah, very guarded, grounded, almost too, like, cynical to the point of cynicism, pessimism. You're the Cinema Sins Jeremy friend is what I just heard. The one who's kind of critical of everything and worst case scenario type person. How are you doing, Group 4? I'm tired. I just got a wave of tired. I scooted forward and I was like, okay, time for a nap. But, first of all, I'm supposed to read this card. My bad. The stillness, quiet peace, and confrontation, yes. To stay busy is to stay distracted. Something that can help us survive our pains and troubles, but does nothing to heal them. Though it may be daunting, take the time to be still. Let the silence envelop you, and learn to just be. Definitely. I feel like you are someone who stays very on guard, on defensive, maybe very paranoid is the first word that came to mind. I want them to say more apprehensive. As I said before, guarded. You're very discerning of who comes into your life. You're very much almost to the point of like limiting your circle's friend group severely, which I feel like Spirit's kind of like wagging its finger at you gently. It understands, but like it's time. I feel like you know and you're aware of your habit of your feeling and urge to be guarded, be closed off. To I feel like cut people off is something I'm hearing. You might be someone who struggles with attachment in the way of like if it feels like it's going too well, feels too good to be true, I'm going to nip it in the bud and cut my losses before it might go sour, or they might go sour, or God forbid I actually enjoy this and then something accidentally takes a left turn. You might be someone who's very familiar with tragedy, because the first thing I heard when I picked up a jack-o'-lantern was the headless horseman. Excuse me, and that is definitely someone who, yeah, he had a little rough. A sip of water. He did not have it the best. Some would say it was a little rocky. But Spirit's reminding you to find joy and laughter and fun and play. Life's not all serious and misery and sad things. Yes, the world is low-key on fire, and by low-key I mean high-key on fire. Oh my god. But unfortunately, you're only one human. You can only do so much as one person in this existence, and unless you happen to be like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos watching this, which, by the way, big fan, totally. If you want to send me an email and do some business wagering for some funding over here so I can do some projects, I'll drop my email in the description. Please, by all means. It's completely serious, obviously. But, digress. You're only one person. You can only do so much. And I feel like either you've had that burden put upon you to have to like keep the village afloat, essentially, or you've got that kind of guilt and knowledge. I'm hearing like you know a lot. You're well aware of everything that's going on and all that you could be doing and all that needs to be done. And it's not like you're not trying or helping. I feel like you're someone who has a very big heart, and if you have the funds or the resources, you are someone who's very giving. That being said, I feel like you might judge yourself and or be very hard on yourself for being like maybe not enough of a help. Maybe you wish you could help your friends more, help the community more, or just take more action, essentially. But Spirit's telling you, like, you don't have to always be doing, always be going, always be the strongest, and always be the one who knows best, who everyone can turn to and rely on. It's not your job to be Superman, essentially. Take a step back. Breathe. Take a sip of water. Drink more water, because I feel like I've told every group that. I mean, universally, we all need to drink more water. But take time to just enjoy life. Enjoy the things that bring you happiness, that spark joy, that remind you that, hey, world kind of sucks, but at least this exists. Sometimes it's just as simple as a song you like, or a person who you enjoy, or people, company of people. Maybe if you like, I'm getting a message like if you're a gamer or someone who likes games or another sort of like entertainment media, and you haven't had the time or energy or chance to really indulge in that in a while, definitely try and carve out the time in your schedule. I know it can be hard with working full time, or hearing family. You have a family you take care of, or you have kids. Maybe you're just like the head of the house, or maybe you're the one who just puts the responsibility onto themselves to do things and get things done. But like, carve out some time for you, man. You don't have to Like I said, you don't have to hold the whole world up on your shoulders. You are not Atlas. You do not need to. It's not your job. I know you could. Don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you that's not a challenge. I'm telling you, you don't have to. Some of y'all are like, oh, is that a challenge? Are you challenging me? Rolls up sleeves. No, I'm not challenging you. I know you could. That's why I'm telling you not to. Alright, I'm going to get right into the tarot now. Let's see even further into our emotions. Give me these. Group 4 during emotional spirit. Let's group 4 during emotional. Thank you. Let's group 4 during emotional. Right. Got the Ace of Cups in reverse on the bottom. Just pray that that is focused enough, because God forbid the camera works with me today. I feel like you might be so worn out or pulled taut, like overworked, or tired with this 9 of Coins already. I feel like that energy, like you might be just so out of it now. Because the camera has not done this for pretty much any of the other readings. It has been relatively cooperative. As much as a phone camera can be. Okay, we're gonna need that three. So we've got the 5 of Wands in reverse. The Knight of Cups in reverse. I wanted to say coins. Lovers. Magician. The 9 of Coins in reverse. The Sun in reverse. Queen of Cups in reverse. And the 6 of Coins in reverse. Stop to get some water. Excuse me. Also excuse my noisy ass chair. Meet you, chair. I'll pass. Alright, but definitely, I feel like this is something you are either well aware of already or have been really coming about a revelation to, that you are kind of hyper independent. Very much strong and independent, don't need no man. No problem with that, but there can be a problem with that when you are taking it to a extreme where you're unable to ask for help, where you're unwilling to ask for help, where you are wearing yourself to the bone because, God forbid, you have to ask for time off, excuse me, or ask someone else to pick up some slack for you. I feel like you might have dealt with people in the past who weren't reliable, who promised or said a bunch of big things, talked big shit, and it did not turn out the way they said. They were promising you the moon, the sun, the stars, and they gave you this little desk lamp, and we're like, here you go. And you're like, oh, cool, thanks. So you're tired of disappointment. You're tired of people half-assing, cutting corners, giving you mediocre. So what I'm really getting with that 6 of coins in reverse is like, you don't want people to give you some nonsense. Like, you know you can do it well with the time and the patience and the energy that you can exude. You know your work and you know your quality. But you've also seen that other people don't kind of have that same drive, that same commitment to make a quality effort and get things done the same way and the same magnitude that you are. And you're tired, you're fed up. I feel like you're waiting, looking for someone who can match your energy. And that's the problem, is finding someone who understands, who works in a similar way with you. Like Gemini energy is very strong here with the lovers. I feel like you're really looking for someone with that same like mindset, that same thought process. And it's taking some time. They might be on their way. I don't think they're in your life yet. Or if they are not able to extend that same kindness and same gesture back towards you right now, because either they're working on themselves or they're in their own little battle, you know. And maybe they are doing in the same situation as you, where they're also the kind of the caregiver of the house and having to be the mature, the motherly figure. Because you're giving me very paternal, Saturnarian, yeah, energy. Oh, goodness, golly gods. I feel that having someone who you can actually rely on, who you can lean on, who you can trust to give you not only quality of work, but quality performance, commitment, and handling of situations. Also getting like maturity, because coins are very stable and grounded energy, and cups are also very emotional. So a Queen of Cups, she would be very mature, and I'm not sure if the person who would be coming into your life and working with you, they might be working their own kinks out with trauma, with their mental state, with having to be mature and work for themselves as well. And they want to make sure they're holding up their end of the bargain before that they get into any commitments or B, like partnerships that might be require them to step up to the bat and be the bigger person. And this is something you've had to deal with and figure out for a while, that some people just aren't willing to come to bat like that. Some people would rather just be complacent, let things happen, and watch the world burn. It's the first thing that came to mind. But yeah, essentially, like they'd rather just drink from the cup till it's empty and then look at the cup kind of longing like, dang, I wish this would fill back up, instead of figuring out how to fill it up themselves. And I'm getting like you've tried showing people or doing for people. You've tried almost like giving the lessons, because you enjoy people. You're a friendly person. You're this 9 of Coins person, and 9 of Coins, she's very abundant. Even right here, even this 9 of Coins, that cat has a whole family. The whole squad is ready in here. If you are abundant, you want to share it with people. You want to share in your knowledge, your knowledge, your strengths, your wealth with everyone around you. Make sure everyone else is decked out and not the same drip as you. But I feel like you've been burned by this too. Like you've dealt with people who will just take because they know that you're kind-hearted. They know that you're abundant. They know that you care about either like either care about being in like good fortune or care about being like in a good appearance, because Knight of Pentacles is very Virgo energy, and they want to keep things tidy, organized, neat, well kept. And I feel like people will have noticed that, yes, you will pick up the slack. Yes, you will fix the problem. You will do the fix it Felix and the wreck it Ralph routine. And you've had to learn to just pump the brakes, cut them off, and be like, no, 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 no. I'm not going to let you just keep taking my generosity for advantage. That's not cute. No, thank you. And maybe you've even told people this gently, firmly, you know, and that, hey there, can you maybe chill kind of energy? And they didn't take it well. With that Knight of Cups in reverse, he can be a little bit emotional, temperamental, just a moody. He might take things personally a little. You might have tried to be nice, straightforward, sugarcoat it, whatever. They might have just been like, and now you're just tired because you're done. You've either given up with those people who you've tried to be placate. That's the word. English is stupid, but you've either given up appearances or given up on those relationships, or you are just kind of very detached is what I'm getting, like passive now. You're like, whatever happens, happens. And you're outsourcing. You're trying to figure out, find, search for people who can match you, who can recuperate. Almost, I'm kind of getting like the energy like you are the big fish in the little pond, but not in like the predatory way, in the way like you just happen to be a really, really big fish and this pond is tiny. And everyone in this pond is doing tiny fish things, and you're just like, no offense to y'all, but I just need to migrate to another pond so I can keep up with the other folks, and I don't just eat y'all at a house and home and ruin your ecosystem, you know? No hard feelings, but I've got things to do. You know. That's you, definitely. You just gotta jump ponds and find a bigger, better lake and find some fish homies who will swim with you upstream and vibe, and y'all can eat little algae together. Yes, the analogy is veering a little bit to the left, but yeah. Alright, I'm gonna get y'all some Moonology cards for advice. Yeehaw. This is a fun reading. Love doing this reading for y'all. Not just group 4, but in general. Like group 4, y'all are fun. I like this one. Don't get me wrong. I feel, but I mean, I like this reading topic in general. Just an emotional vibe check. You know, sometimes just need to get our thoughts straight. Ooh. And another thing I've noticed, you guys aren't very emotional, at least not outwardly, / like around others. At least around others, you give a very strong, independent front. I'm not sure if that's something you need to work on, i.e. be more vulnerable with people you care about, and maybe like just taking more care and track of your emotions more by way of like journaling, or maybe if you need to just sit with yourself and express, think, get in touch with your feelings. You might be a little bit out of the loop. Spirit's giving me that. Alright. Group 4. Can I get some advice for group 4, please, Spirit? Okay, goodbye. What was that, 3 cards? C. Alright, I'll take those. End of a tough cycle approaches. Full moon in Capricorn. I believe I said Capricorn moon earlier, but funny that it popped up. Excuse you. S'il vous plaît. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, see. Foggy thoughts. You were just either too in your head, or disassociating almost. Oh, this is 4 cards. This has come out for almost every group now. But we got Believe in the Impossible. Blue Moon. The answers you need are coming. Full Moon in Gemini. Your commitment is being tested in reverse. First quarter moon. And show the world the real you. Full Moon in Aquarius reverse. Excuse me. Absolutely. I feel like you've just been putting up with nonsense, dealing with it, and expecting, the least back because that's all you've known, that's all you've been shown, that's what people have been willing to give you. You're very used to putting in 110 and getting back 40, which sucks. I hate that. I hate that for you, Group 4. But don't give up. Don't think that you have to be committed and given into that. It's going to change, especially if you are willing to stand up for what you want, what you feel, what you need, what you think. Don't be willing to just back down and be complacent and just because, I don't want to cause drama, or, they might think I'm a bitch or a dick or whatever. It's like, no. And if they do, I'm sorry, but if you can't take a little constructive criticism, please, that's on you. Looking on you and think, why can't I not accept just a skosh of another opinion, another point of view? Because I feel like you've been dealing with other people's point of views for forever, putting up with nonsense and silly thought patterns, and you've just taken it like a champ, even if it made no sense. But now it's time for you to get yours. It's coming back around. And it's only possible because you believe in it, because you fight for it, and because you want it, honestly. Like, if you didn't care, if you were just willing to just take this sitting down, take it on the chin, it would just stay like this. You would stay in the situation for the rest of, time, essentially. But you are building up, not your walls. You are building up your courage, building up your strength. You have knowledge, you're using your power and what it is that you have learned and experienced, to influence and fuel your decisions, and influence and fuel the way that you see the world, instead of just flying off of your emotions. You're a very non-emotional person. Group 4. I feel like you handle your emotions in a very logical way. You're a very thoughtful person. You might like to debate a lot, or you might play devil's advocate a lot. But you're someone who uses their life experiences and the point of views they've seen to craft their opinion and craft how they go about life, how they experience the world, which, kudos to you. Great. Love that. Yeah, that's what I'm really getting from here. As well as time frames, I'm thinking full moon Capricorn is going to be what is the full moon that just passed? I have no idea, honestly. But yeah, full moon in Capricorn might be relevant. Full moon in Gemini, I think, is already passed, but Gemini season might be important. And full moon in Aquarius comes after Capricorn, so if you look that up, that will be there. I might put it in the description, I'm not sure. That means let's shuffle some Isis cards. Goodness. These two. Thank you. We got Talismans of Potency in reverse. Charging the sacred objects of power. Absolutely, you've been working on yourself, your power, your energy. It's been a process. It has not been easy, and honestly, it has taken a lot of stumbles and, frankly, shitty decisions. Understood. It'd be like that. We all make mistakes. That's human. Got past life, present power. The many spiritual faces of you. And Goddess of 10,000 Names in reverse. Can't focus? Yes. Isis, endless emanations of the priestess. Let me want some water because I'm dying. I definitely feel like you have not even scratched the surface of your knowledge, power, and or journey at this point. This is all just you and past life, present power. That's also reminded me of how I just said a lot of your experiences are a lot of your thoughts and habits are informed. I cannot speak now. Are informed by the experiences that you have and the things that you've seen and done. But you definitely barely only started your journey. What power you have now is just scratching the surface. I feel like you are also realizing that the power of your words in particular is something that can move mountains. You can essentially speak into existence what it is that you desire, see, crave, etc. Scry it as well if you have not practiced with this, definitely. But I feel like you're only just now being able to not only put words to what it is that you want and can do, but you are figuring out how to pursue it. And sorry, I got distracted. But you were figuring out how to pursue your goals, what your desires, how to manifest them into existence instead of just sitting here twiddling your thumbs and hoping things will get better. You don't want to be the complacent one who's just like, oh yeah, it'll get better, and then 5 years down the line, you say they're working on it, and then 10 years down the line, oh yeah, no, they were working on it. You're not going to be that. You don't want that. You're like, no, if I want something to happen, it's going to happen. If this person isn't working with me, then they're not with me. If this is not serving me, then I will leave. And something else will serve me. 1 second. About that, and essentially you can have all it is that you want to put to your mind set to. If you want something, it will come to you. If you are looking for this certain circle of people, group of people, then you can find them, you can come upon them, and you will get in contact with them. If you are trying to create something, you can, if you just work towards it. And if you would like if you'd like things to improve between X and Y, or if you'd like this to end, if you'd like this to be resolved, just ask the universe, speak it into existence, however that is that you do it best, because I feel like there's a way that you communicate either with source or just communicate your thoughts and feelings that works best for you, and you'll know it. It'll be essentially results may vary. If you're not familiar with it, either sit and meditate for a little bit or just ask spirit for a sign. I'm getting that journaling and automatic speaking and writing might be something of importance to you. Might not be much of a meditator, but those might be very powerful for you, for sure. Alright, I'm gonna get a couple Cards Against Humanity cards just to close this out. Group 4. historically black colleges as our bottom deck. You've got $5 footlongs in reverse. It's the ice cream truck, hell yeah. Capturing Newt Gingrich and forcing him to dance a monkey suit in reverse. Surprise sex in reverse. And sniffing glue in reverse. The first thing I immediately heard was I've already made my bad decisions, or I've already seen other people do them. I've learned, I've grown, already done that. I feel like another one that might fly for some of you is I've already trashed my body. I've already done the frat boy life, the reckless college 20s, I'm limitless and nothing can kill me kind of lifestyle, and now you're ready to recoup, take care, and do better. Plant the seeds for a healthier tomorrow, you know. And maybe that involves telling other people or expressing your story, where you've been, what you've done, and how you've gotten to where you are. However you do that, it might just be like I'm getting that writing is really big for you, so like a book or maybe a podcast. However you want to get your emotions out, a blog, whether it's just for you and a friend or you post it online, whatever, however you work, however you like it. But I feel like you're just trying to make better choices. As the overall of this is trying to just make better choices on life, on decisions, on make better choices on decisions. Eloquent. People, relationships, job, finances, and what you do, how you spend, how you exist, and live a better life that's more fulfilling for you, because you've already kind of seen like where it can lead if you just let it go to shit and just don't care, let people walk all over you, let people do what they want, and I feel like you've also seen the deterioration of others who do the same, and you don't want to be like them, you don't want to fall into that same pit, and you know you don't have to, because you are a very powerful, wise person, and you know, other people have messed up, doesn't mean that you have to. Literally, I heard the ice cream truck getting closer. The message that I heard is, I mean, it sounds fun, it looks fun, but you can go to the store and get ice cream for way cheaper, and that is definitely where I am in my life. I'll freak out over the ice cream truck. Don't get me wrong, but like I'm not gonna run out there with my wallet, because I know those ice cream bars are like $5, and I can go to the store and get a box of them for like $3. So checkmate ice cream, man. I definitely feel that, and definitely respect that energy. We love the maturity and we love the growth group 4. Love this message, and I've loved reading for you guys. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for watching through this segment, watching through all of your reading. Make sure you like the video. If you want, subscribe. Check the description for the cards used, and if you want a private reading, I want to take time to thank your guys as well as mine for helping me channel your energy and give you this reading, and take care of yourselves and take it easy. Hello, Group 5, and welcome. If you chose this lapis lazuli piece, then this is going to be your reading. If only the camera would focus. I'm gonna find the sweet spot. There we go. It's a shame it won't focus more, because I really like this piece. We're gonna put them up there. And today we are asking Spirit for an emotional check-in, just a good emotional vibe check. It's been a very interesting reading. I've gotten all sorts of things. So we got the Lotus Blue Butterfly. It says transformation, becoming, lightness, and beauty. The Cosmos in reverse. And I'll read this one after everything is out. Mummy in reverse. It says change. 2 messages about change already. Inspiration in reverse. Very pretty. And there is the card that's on the back, actually. Wanted to show you that. There's the back of the card. Boom. You got that one. Legacy of Light in reverse. I just got this deck recently, so I'm still looking through all the cards. But you got lucky number 7 himself. Come on down. I mean, you chose group 5. That's the energy of change, movement, etc. Coming of Winter in reverse. That exactly. It says, it comes in lullabies deep within your mirrored flesh. Alas, it is time to lay your quivering chest upon the winter's coming. Look at me reading upside down. We got Black Tourmaline. It says protection, recharging, grounding. Failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. I feel like that's definitely an important lesson that you've been learning. Revenge. Right. Last but not least, simplicity. Definitely feel like you're coming out of a period of pause, downtime, of maybe even confusion, having put the brakes on things. Art block is another thing I'm getting with that inspiration reversed. I'm supposed to be reading this, I'm already channeling. My bad. Hold on. Mind my squeaky chair, I'm going to get him some oil eventually. So we've got the cosmos, boundlessness, direction, and creative force. The night sky holds many a wonder, some that we can see. I'm going to flip this around, I'm struggling. Some that we can see with our eyes, and some that we can only know with our hearts. Take time today to connect with the cosmos. Go stargazing, read about the lunar cycle, or study astrology. I feel like you're coming out of this period of deep introspection, exploration. You've been learning, you've been simplifying your life with that simplicity card, like cutting out. I've said this at least twice now, but I feel it very strongly here. You have Marie Kondo'd your life. Anything that doesn't serve, anyone that doesn't serve, relationships that are not helping you, that are taking more than they're giving, or you're putting in 100 and they're putting in like 40, cutting those out. Anything that just does not make you happy, does not spark joy, does not bring you closer to your final mission, your final goal, even if you don't know what that is, you just know, like, in your heart that whatever these situations are, whatever these people are, that it's been necessary to distance from them. I feel like in that space, in that solitude, you've learned a lot about yourself, about your journey, about where you're meant to be and where you need to go. And may have taken, honestly, some less than pleasant experiences. I feel like you might have, with that revenge and the failure, you might have come with the cost of certain things that you at the time were thinking like were end game, were what were meant for you. And you might have even, someone might have slighted you, or you might have felt like you slighted someone else. But I feel like this Ten of Swords kind of betrayal, things were left at the worst possible situation kind of energy. But at this point, you're seeing it in the situation, the perspective of it was meant to be this way. It needed to be this way. They served their purpose. This served its purpose. What has happened, and we're going to move on from there and be happier, better, stronger people independently. And, if we end up crossing paths again, that's how the dice roll. I feel like these experiences and these people, I'm getting specific, like maybe like not a romantic partner, but maybe like familial or friendship. There might have been a relationship there that soured, or that you had to examine from a different eye with a critical lens, or maybe even like no contact or low contact with them for your own sake, for your own health. But this period that you're going into now is a lot of change, growth, rebirth. You've got all this floral, beautiful, colorful energy, and all this change energy. And I feel like with this legacy of light in reverse, even if you feel like you've cut off your source of power, or if you're cut off from even like communities, you may feel very isolated, and you may have been in a very hermit energy for either personal reasons or just because that's how it worked out. And you might feel very cut off, very distant. You may have been doing a lot of studying and just a lot of self-care is what I'm hearing. Taking care of you first, because I mean that might not have been something that you've been doing in the past. You maybe have had to take care of everyone else around you before, and you've kind of worn yourself down to a nub. So now you're kind of just getting back to square one, refilling, powering back up to 100, and now you've got your ducks in a row a little. You're trying to figure out where to go. You're afraid that almost like the opportunities have passed, and you've got all this knowledge, all this experience, all these skills acquired, and now it's just gonna be like, and I'm sitting here with them twiddling my thumbs, and nothing's coming. But no, that's not happening. Definitely, things are going to get way good. You have laid the groundwork for great progress and great strength, and you might not know the people now, but your circle is going to be expanding in the best ways. It might not be huge. I feel like you might not be someone who likes big circles. These cards are very solemn, solitude, and introspective, and getting a lot of Piscean energy from you. You might be someone who has a very like close-knit circle, very specific people in your group that you love and enjoy being around, but you don't really want a huge circle full of everyone and their grandma, you know. You're fine without it. But I was saying that you might be either meeting some new people to add to your very small clique. I heard, if you've seen Phineas and Ferb, that song Candace Party. Candace Party. It's not a party, it's an intimate get-together. That's very much you. But you're either expanding your circle, you know, in your way, or maybe you're collaborating, working with people who have similar values. I'm also getting that if you are, with these two cards, if you've been exploring your spirituality and you feel either disconnected from your spiritual team, or like you feel like you may have a soured or bad relationship with them for whatever reason. Maybe you feel like you messed up, maybe you feel like you've taken too long of a break, or you didn't do the right things, or you were confused too much, or you followed the... I'm also getting like maybe there might have been a mentor figure. A mentor, a teacher, a priest, a religious head, kind of like a Hierophant in reverse, someone who may have been an authority that you turn to, but they may have given you poor advice, or may have been not someone who wasn't as reliable and trustworthy as you might have wanted. And if you feel like there might have been scorn or resentment or grudges or something held in the 5D in the spiritual realm, don't worry about it. They're forgiving. They get it. It's part of the journey. It's all part of the Keikaku. Translator's note: Keikaku means plan. Goodness, I think I kind of want to just move into tarot. This feels pretty self-explanatory. Lots of change, lots of growth. You are moving out of this energy of defensiveness and onto the offense, but only for your good. And I love that for you, Group 5. This is big energy. Alright, I'm going to move these cards off, and then we are going to get into the tarot and talk about your emotions. I had to take a pause there for a second because, you know, interruptions and ADHD, you know the deal. So, back at enjoying Group 5, ready to do your cards. Checking in on you emotionally. I love this deck. I've only had it like a week, but like I've wanted it for over a year, so having it for a week means nothing. And I'll put all the decks I use in the description, of course. But let's see, Group 5. Jesus, the cards are already gone. Group 5. How are we doing emotionally, Group 5? bottom deck is the Emperor. Right now, we got the Emperor in reverse. Excuse me. So we got the Eight of Swords in reverse. The Four of Coins. I'm actually put the Seven of Swords in reverse right after the Eight of Swords because I like that progression. I guess regression at this point. Oh, excuse me. And the Eight of Coins. Lots of 8 and 4 energy. Very stable. Got 2 4s as well as 2 8s, which are 4s twice. So, and 8s are very infinite, abundant, stable energy. So definitely you see you coming out of this period of introspection, of deep, like, taking from the lessons you've learned and things you've experienced and how you've seen the world and had to figure things out for yourself. I feel like you've had to do a lot of being the bigger man and being the one who takes the initiative to make solutions, make progress, make amends. You know, everything that is mature and growing in the right direction has been kind of on you. With that Emperor in reverse, you've kind of had to be the unwilling father, the unwilling big grown person, adult, bigger person. I don't know how long this is going on, but I feel like this is something you're very familiar with, and it's kind of like a habit you're trying to get out of at this point, because you know that it's not the best, it's not detrimental. I mean, it's not helpful, it's detrimental to you, and in the long run, it could definitely harm you, or harm your relationships, harm others. I feel like in particular, there might have been one person or one situation that has shown you how your capacity to, like, be forgiving and caring and take care of others and step up to the bat when no one else will has gotten you either taken advantage of or manipulated or otherwise used by less savory charlatans, you know. And you've had to learn to not only forgive yourself for being, you know, not gullible, but caring, sympathetic. You have a heart, which is something that some people don't have, especially after these jading situations, after having their generosity used and abused over and over. A lot of people get cold and cynical, but you still have, I feel like you might not give it away as freely anymore. Like someone has to clear a certain criteria before you're willing to actually bend over for them. Bend over backwards, but I mean, if that's how the situation is. But you might have strong, higher hurdles or bars for entry than you used to, which is good. That's more self-preservation, that's more boundaries, that's lessons learned and growth achieved. Spirit's just making sure that you don't swing too far in either direction. You don't want to become too independent, but you also don't want to be like super duper reliant on public opinion and the opinion of others, and should I do this? How is that going to affect them? You know, care, but don't be like overly caring. Know your limits. There's this card under here. Keep trying to peek out. 6 of Coins, yes. Spend your time and your energy wisely. Underneath that was the universe. It will pay off in the long run. Alright. Clarify the 8 of Swords from the Spirit. Ooh, 3 of Cups in reverse. Clarify the 7 of Swords from the Spirit. Thank you. Alright, I guess that wants to be like that. The 7 of Coins in reverse. Clarify the 4 of Coins from the Spirit. The 10 of Coins in reverse. Yeah. Clarify the 8 of Coins from the Spirit. Ace of Swords. And our bottom deck is 6 of Cups in reverse. Yeah, I'm definitely getting that. This has been a time of healing, reflection, and really just tending to the wounds, like your inner child that got neglected, because it seems like this has been stemming from a long time ago, maybe even like your childhood or some of your formative relationships, like in elementary school type, primary school type age, you have been kind of the, I'm hearing scapegoat. You've been the one just like pick up the slack, the one to take the blame, the one to take the fall, and you are kind of tired of it. You've seen that it doesn't pay off in the end because they always either get their karma or they never learn their lessons, which just shows them to keep failing and stumbling in that same direction, failing upwards. I guess is what I'm hearing. That's what I wanted to say, but I feel like these realizations, this learning, this growth has also shown you who in your circle, who in your life, whether current or past, is helpful, is good for you, is necessary for your healing and process, or is necessary to leave and not be around anymore. There might be some people who either echo energies and sentiments and mentalities of the folks that you used to know, or people who just are their own brand of not good for you. Like that popping sound in my body. But I feel like this time this has been, because this has been a process. Excuse me. Of figuring out who you are, what you're about, because you were so lost. I feel like you became such a excuse me, 1 second. Delicious. You kind of became like a husk, just kind of floating by, almost like a rent-a-dad is what I'm hearing. And now you're trying to figure out what it is that you want to do with yourself, how to take care of you, how to make you glow and shine and thrive. Like, I feel like there's a hobby or an interest that maybe you wanted to pursue or were interested in, or there were some things that seemed cool or interesting, or maybe you're just curious and want to start learning, exploring the avenues, the possibilities that were out there that you just never really got a chance to even take a peek at because you were too busy, always having to do everything else, always having to make ends meet, always having to pick up slack, always having to be the big person and the head of the household and the mature one. Now that you're not constantly focused on survival mode, that you're not constantly focused on taking care of others, or now that you are working through the end of that, is what I'm getting. You're resolving this issue of never being in the right place, of things never working out because of who you're around, because of who you're working with, because they're not holding up their ends. Because you know what you're doing. You have your stuff together for the most part. And if you don't, you know where you need to pick up the slack and where you need to fix things, and you know your weaknesses. You're very introspective and you're very wise, and you're already working on that. You're doing your best trying to get your life together, get your shit together. But I feel like there's other people in your life who are either critical and or just pulling you down, not helping, and otherwise being just an exhausting mess. Ugh, just tiresome mess. Like, you're tired of picking up their work. I've said picking up their slack so much, but this is really like, you feel like this is repetitive because it is. It's something that you've dealt with. This might even be if you are, I'm getting, especially with that 10 of coins in reverse and the 4 of coins, like, this might even stem from past lives for you, that you've been cleaning up people's slack and been the scapegoat, the fixer-upper dude, the I just said Renadad for a while now, for several lifetimes, and your karma is finally coming correct, or your time is finally right to get what you deserve, get what's yours, and get taken care of, and get to live your life for you and not for everybody on the block. As much as you love people and care for people, I feel like, especially, like, your heart has, it's not frozen, like I said, it's not jaded, it's not cold, it's just, he's like a burnt marshmallow. He's a little crispy on the outside. He's tired. He needs some rest. He needs a little loving. Someone needs to crack through that shell and get to the gooey in there. And you're still waiting. Tick-tock. Really weird to say it's coming soon. You'll get yours. Don't worry. For now, just prioritize yourself, your self-care, and what it is that makes you happy, what it is that makes you curious, and interested in the world at large. I feel like you're a very curious soul, and that's almost been put on such a back burner that you forget about it sometimes. You just kind of get in this rut, monotonous drone, because you're so used to it. It's not. It's easy, and Spirit understands, but like, if you can work on it, if you have the ability to maybe like go out for a walk, break up the routine, you know, try something new if you've been wanting to, definitely spring for it. Can I get you some advice from Spirit now? Group 5. Pride get in your way. We've got full moon in Leo. Adjustments are required. Third quarter moon. Step out of your comfort zone in reverse. North node. The answers you need are coming. This is coming in a lot of piles, so definitely that collective energy that you guys are getting clarity. Communication is key. Wow, so we got full moon and new moon in Gemini, which as the time of filming right now, we just got through the new moon in Aries, so this wouldn't be until actual Gemini season, I'm pretty sure. Nearly. I think it might be the end of Taurus. I think the next new moon is at the end of April. So yeah, it would be in Gemini season. Hell yeah. Cool. So yeah, big things might be coming to you guys by Gemini season, for sure. If not by the Gemini full moon, which, oh boy, you just have to look that one up. I could not tell you off the top of my head. It would not be until at the very least winter, probably. But yeah, we're only where are we right now? We're at, I think Scorpio is coming up. No, Virgo or Scorpio. Libra. That's the one between them. So, yeah, we are a little ways away from getting a Gemini full moon. Excuse me. Yes, that's an awful color. I'm sorry. Or a Leo full moon. So, yeah, definitely Gemini season probably more around of when this is going to be happening, if anything is going to be happening. But I feel like Spirit's saying that in the next coming months, you are definitely going to be working towards stepping up your A game, really. Like, working on yourself, more that 8 of Pentacles, hunkering down. I heard the first line of Make a Man Out of You. Let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. Absolutely. That's you right now. You're just, whatever it is your goals are, whatever it is you're motivated towards, you are working on it. You are trying to figure out how to do it, whether it requires you trying new things or learning new skills, speaking to new people and getting into new circles, etc., etc., etc. You might not like the experience. It might require leaving certain situations, certain people. It might require you even traveling, is what I'm getting. But I feel like you're going to be motivated to do it. You're going to want it. Whatever it is, you're going to look at it as like a challenge that urges you forward into the unknown, into things that you might have otherwise not been exposed to, that change your life for the better, is what I'm hearing. That Ace of Swords, you might be finding and experiencing things that open your mind and expand your horizons, might even show you like I said, like a experience, a life experience, or a way of life, a living that you may not have even considered beforehand, and now you'll be here whenever the Gemini full moon is, like, wow, how life has changed. And suddenly you'll know that, wow, oh, I didn't know what I was doing when I left here, or quit my job and moved here, or left this person, or cut these people off, or started doing this, but I just felt this need to work on this. I just felt this need to do this, and now here I am, living life and thriving and happier than I ever could have been, happier than I have been since I was younger, before all this. Oh, that message came out of nowhere already, but cool. Definitely feeling that for you guys, Group 5. Deserving some good TLC and time. Funny, it says Gemini, but being really Sagittarius energy, which is makes sense because that's exactly on the axis across from Gemini. Ooh, it's windy. It is fucking windy. Yeah, things might be shaking up for you guys right now. You guys got all sorts of transformation and change energy coming towards you. That's probably why I was so pressed about telling you the time frame. I mean, I expressed in pretty much every other group, like, oh yeah, this is the moon, this is the whatever. Excuse me. Oh my god. But, and you guys, it's been very strong, like, this is happening, Gemini. Especially with the cards, even. I'm just gonna get a sip of water, because now I'm choking. Alrighty, violently. Group 5, Spirit, can I get some advice for Group 5, please? Group 5, please. Alright. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Your bottom deck is Rising Sun with Divine Solar Child Reborn. That is definitely you. I was just saying that you're happier than you have been in a long time, since maybe you even a child before all of this. Definitely resonating with that. Let's put these down. We got the Dark Mysteries in reverse. Enter the Chamber of the Dark Goddess. High Priestess. Mysteries revealed in the eyes of Isis. And Lady of the Stars. Priestess of Sirius. Of Sirius. I'm dyslexic, leave me alone. Ow, my tooth just suddenly started hurting. This is definitely saying you've been working on yourself, you're healing. If you're a spiritual person, you may have been working on your meditation and your practice, getting more involved with your spiritual team, your deities, and you have become more powerful. You might not be completely confident in your abilities yet, but I feel like that's what you're working on, is maybe even your shadow work currently, or just generally facing the dark things, healing, especially if you're moving out of a place where you're around the people or the energies that are being really antagonistic, the people and the situations that are holding you in this lower energy and suffering and this just having to pick up slack and do the most for the least energy. And now that you don't have all that expectation and weight on your shoulders, you're getting the chance to figure out how to thrive and begin thriving, and Spirit's definitely encouraging that. If it makes you happy, if you're comfortable, if it makes you feel like glorious and you enjoy it and you're not hurting anyone, always the caveat. I feel like it's going to be an endeavor that you will be worthwhile, and it could even be something that takes you long term into new circles, new horizons, new lifestyles that you come to love and enjoy. But you won't know unless you step out of your zone. That is the biggest detriment, the only caveat to all the success, because I feel like you're a person, especially with that 8 of Swords in the beginning, you are someone who's very comfortable in their bubble, their comfort zone, what they know and what they like, but they have all this potential and this strength and power. just at your fingertips, waiting for you to harness it. All you have to do is take the steps, is figure out a game plan. You don't have to go at it immediately. You can move slow. It's not moving. I mean, the horizon will continue to be there. The sun will rise tomorrow, and we will continue. So long as you continue on trying to search, figure it out, and and live in your most authentic energy and self, then Spirit will continue. Spirit will continue supporting you and watching over you and endorsing your journey and finger gunsing at you whenever you succeed. I feel like you're not giving yourself enough credit for what you've already done. At the same time, you are slowing down in your journey, but kind of berating yourself for it. Well, like you're slowing down while not seeing that you've already done so much, and now you're double angry. And Spirit's like, stop that, stop, come on, be good. You've done enough. You've done so much. Don't you know? You've seen. Oh, we're sure you've seen. You've been here. Have you not? So just give yourself some more credit. Give yourself some slack. Give yourself a break. And if you're really feeling down and you feel like there's no one you can really touch base with and connect with and will understand you, Spirit's always there for a pick-me-up of, what do you call that? A shout-out. I was going to say a vibe check, but that's not right. Compliments, that too. Just sit down and connect with your spirits, or ask for a sign. Something good will happen. I like that for you, 0 to 5. We're going to get you some Cards Against Humanity cards just to round this out. And my camera died. Hilarious. Right as I was finishing the shuffle. So, here's what we got. Your bottom deck is Roofies in reverse. I'm just slapping the camera at this point. Lol. Okay. Got Pac-Man uncontrollably guzzling cum. A foul mouth. Okay, goodbye, foul mouth. Homosexual agenda in reverse, and brown people. Love that. Alright, so Spirit's saying let loose, really. You've been wound tight, working hard and struggling for way too long for really nothing. And holding back what feels like a whole litany of emotions under the guise of just kind of like cool aloofness or being thoughtful. That very Gemini energy. You might have Gemini strong in your chart too. I'm not sure. But Spirit's saying it's been too long. It's me. Sudden yawn is sudden. It's about time for you to be heard in all of your glory, in your entirety, uncensored. Whatever you want to say, whatever you want to do, whatever you think and feel needs to be on display to someone, whether it is journaled, whether it is expressed to someone you actually can trust. And I emphasize actually can trust because I feel like you've gone to people in the past who you thought you could vent to or you thought you could talk to, and they either betrayed you in some way or proved to not be, as competent or helpful as you thought. And now you've learned to be more have more discretion, there we go, with who you speak to on these matters and who you give access to your more intimate and personal life details, which is good. That's a great thing. You definitely should have more awareness of who you're around. I'm not saying that you should completely guard it and never tell anyone anything. Like I said, if you have an outlet. If you don't have an outlet, definitely find one, invest in one. There's many ways. There's apps, there's journals, there's therapists, there's good friends, there's all sorts of options. You could just make a Instagram account, vet it on private, make it only for you, and just post stupid pictures and vent on them. That's really what you need. But I think it's more productive for you and for your goals, excuse me, if you just get your thoughts out, get your thoughts in a row, and figure your things out by. I feel like you're a very visual person, and if you don't have it where you can easily access it and easily figure things out, then it's going to just build and build and build and bother you until it either stops you or you figure it out. And Spirit's like, we're not going to let you get to that point again, so here's your message, your warning, lovingly. You don't need to suffer anymore. You have figured things out. You are past that. You are getting out of this. The change is here. You are the change. You are making it happen. And to make that change happen, you're going to have to be a little bit uncomfortable, but in that uncomfortability, you are going to see progress, growth, and honestly, growing into yourself, growing into the person that you're meant to be and how you are supposed to express yourself, however that may show for you, however loud and proud that might be. And getting, you might be a more extroverted person you might give yourself because you've been forced into more of a introverted or sidelined almost character or person, and you've been like a side character in your own life almost. And Spirit's saying it's time to become Pac-Man in the Pac-Man universe. It's time to become the protagonist. And if you haven't already, if you're not already feeling and thinking that, then this is your wake-up call, kid. It's on the horizon. It's right here, and it's time. Alright, all your interruptions aside, this has been a great reading, Group 5. That rhymed, that was fun. But yeah, I've had a good time with this one. This is a great reading, and I've enjoyed touching base with your energy. Thank you to my spirits as well as your spirit team for letting me channel into your energy and your message. Thank you for watching this too, and sticking with it to the end. Make sure to like this video if you did, subscribe if you want to see more, leave a suggestion if you would have any, and check the description for the decks I use, as well as if you'd like a private reading. Otherwise, take it easy, take care of yourself.